And now, your mama knows.
We've been talking about this for a little over a week now. But obviously, everything we love, like, and or enjoy is being affected by Corona slash COVID-19. So I thought we could actually talk about that today.
The Rona.
The Rona.
Man, I should have made that clip of Cardi B saying coronavirus so I could make it a sound clip for today. Damn it.
Real.
So I'm actually extremely excited that we have Franco, John, and Julian here because they're actually out there working on the front lines, and I want to give them a shout out specifically. I appreciate y'all and what y'all do. And it doesn't matter top to bottom. If you work in McDonald's or if you're in an emergency room, you're out there and you're working, and I appreciate the hell out of y'all.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for doing as you do.
I mean,
So
I know, right?
That's my live gist.
That blender is beautiful.
So I'm taking some notes this week, starting with last Monday, and I'm not going to get too deep into it, but on average, we've lost about 1,900 people a day between last Monday and now. We are at over 54,000 people right now.
Worldwide, or is this just in the U.S.?
That's just in the U.S.
Okay.
We are at over 54,000 deaths just in the United States alone. This thing's kind of ridiculous.
We're actually at 55,070 as of maybe half an hour ago.
Wow.
With 982,000 confirmed cases in just the U.S.
Oh my God.
So we're about to surpass 1 million probably before today's over with, if not tomorrow.
We'll pass 1 million probably before the end of this month.
Oh yeah.
Are we talking about
It'll be at the end of the day or tomorrow. We'll be past 1 million the way the cases are going.
But are we talking about U.S. or global?
That's United States. That's just United States, True.
Let me put it in perspective since True asks that. That's just the U.S. Worldwide, we're sitting at 2.95 million.
So over a third of the cases are in the U.S. alone.
We lead the cases in the world right now.
Yep.
Well, we lead in reported cases. Some cases still aren't reported yet.
Yeah, and that's just like there's some not reported.
Only mean there's more. That doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And what it is, some countries are lying about their numbers.
You don't have to be outside.
Well, I don't necessarily think some countries are lying, only because most countries have less people than we do.
You gotta think
There's
everybody.
also the problem of asymptomatic people not knowing, so they don't get tested.
And Germany is starting to open back up.
Germany, that's something I want to talk about. Some countries have opened up, but even some states have decided to open up. A lot of quote unquote red states. How you doing down there in Texas, Kim?
Look, we're not even open, right? We're still under lockdown. At least I know my county is still technically under lockdown until the 15th or 17th of next month, right? But these idiots are out there protesting, wanting to go to work in the middle of this shit. Like, there's a chick who owns a hair salon in Dallas. She has opened up now 2 days in a row under the lockdown. She's had the police there to shut her down every morning. They give her a cease and desist order from a judge every day, and she literally rips it up in their face and goes back and does her business.
Wow.
Like, then she goes, when she closes her salon down at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or whenever she's done, she goes over to a neighboring town where they've been having a lot of protests sitting outside of like some special like House of Representatives area or house or something, and stands there and protests with them like idiots out there. I'm a realtor. I want to get back to work. People want to buy houses right now. No, bitch. People want to live. Shut the fuck up. Go sit your ass in the house. You'll be okay. I mean, it's okay.
I can't say nothing because Friday they opened up barbershop, salons.
I was gonna say Georgia opened up a lot of shit.
Tomorrow they are opening up movie theaters.
And South Carolina.
Yes, I
And,
told you, sneaky pants. Mwah, thank you for the sub for 8 months in a row. I love you, bitch.
and watch all the new cases pour
And
in.
yes, all these brothers. This is the Jersey crew. For those who don't know on my channel, this is my family. This is Jade. This is who I hung out with. This is my people. This is where I come from. This is how I became the first lady of Jade that turned into the nerdish girl on stream.
We love Kim.
If you don't take that damn mask off, these are my people. They know me better than most people, actually. They have seen some things. They have heard some things. They have witnessed some things. They have led to some things. They have caused some things.
I don't think you understand how much I love the fact that my image is looking
Sit
right
your
at
ass
her with
back
this
in your
facial
chair,
laugh.
Anthony.
It's so good.
Who's that talking right now?
But yeah,
Ugh.
Texas just needs to stop because they're doing too much. Because I live in Dallas County. It's one of the bigger counties besides like Houston area is huge compared to us. But Dallas County, this judge here, he has been trying to from the beginning to stay on top of it. He was first to put the stay-at-home orders out for the state. He's really been trying hard to stay on top of it. The governor of Texas literally sat back and was like, "I'm gonna let the counties do what they want to do." He took no from the beginning. He hasn't wanted to do anything. It wasn't
Right.
until almost a month after we were already on lockdown in the county that he. Yes, we know Hot Wheels is a dumbass. I ain't vote for the bitch. Okay, but hold on, Natalie's beating at my door. Be right back.
Said beers at her door.
Her niece. So real quick, Franco,
Yeah.
what is it exactly so people know how you're helping and impacting? What is it that you do?
So I work for a company called Hills. I work in distribution. We're still up and running because we've been supplying a lot of the infrastructure in like the tri-state area now across North America, being that we're the largest distribution center in my company.
All right.
What that basically means is all these pop-up hospitals, the places they're building to house people that are sick and diagnosed that they're quarantining. For example, a couple of colleges in New York have closed their campuses and turned the dormitories into temporary like housing for people that have been diagnosed. So we're supplying them with all the stuff they need to build that stuff. Everything from building actual like really quick houses, building small buildings, building storage facilities. Rumor has it they built somewhere to store bodies.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was something that somebody I know that lives in New York said that they're building someplace to store bodies. So if that's true, then 99% chance that some of the materials is coming from us.
That's 100% true.
That's pretty much what I've been doing. So I deal directly with truck drivers that are going across different states and stuff. And like I know we laugh and joke in here, and y'all doing a lot of laughing and joking now, but this one I felt like this is a more serious topic. I need you to understand that I hear y'all saying all this stuff is opening back up, and movie theaters and just stuff. But what you really got to think about is how important is your health, right? Because a movie theater or a barbershop opens back up, how quick are you going to run out to that? Because I got a truck driver that came in who says he doesn't wear masks, he doesn't wear gloves, and I see this truck driver every single week. And ironically, he comes from Dallas.
See?
Last week, he didn't show up to do his run. A different driver showed up, and he said, "Oh no, he's out sick. I think he's quarantined."
Oh shit.
See? Mm-hmm.
So he's going from Dallas to New Jersey, right? Dallas, Texas to Dayton, New Jersey.
Literally a
And
carrier.
all along he stops. You know what I mean? He stops in different places.
Right.
Get gas, go to the bathroom, get food. He touches his cell phone. He touches his debit card. So everything that's touched his debit card has now got it.
Literally
That's just,
Everybody who touches debit card may have it. You know what I'm saying? So individually, this is bad, right? So for me, they can open every movie theater tomorrow. Still not going to see no fucking movies in the theaters for another month or two.
Oh hell no. Mm-mm.
Hell no.
Definitely not.
That's
Hell
if
no.
Absolutely
stuff
not.
seems to be coming down
I'm
by then.
going.
Bruh, they open shit in my spot. I'm still sitting my ass right here. Like, okay, I'll wait till I hear wave 2 hits, and then I'll ride it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
No. Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
I'm on the other spectrum. I would if they open up the movies today, I'll be going to the movie.
I know
And
you
that-
would, because you don't give a shit.
You would, and then next week we're gonna see you sitting in there in quarantine because your ass done caught the corona.
That is, I mean, that is possible. I mean, I think they should. So my thing is, I think they should. I want to see what's gonna happen. I want to see what's gonna happen with the states.
Thank you. I was going to say, take that off.
South Carolina and Georgia. I'm curious to see what's going to be the outcome. So I'm looking forward to see, like, you know. hopefully next
I'm
week-
gonna tell you, and from my
Here's the
first
thing.
person perspective, since I actually had to run out and take a friend of my grandmother some food.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's only been a weekend, and people have been driving all over the place as if Corona
No.
never hit.
You're not crazy, Melly. I do that too.
Like, I'm talking about, I just went around the corner from my house, and I talk about there's full on 5 o'clock traffic like it's a regular, like everyone's coming from work. Because people who don't know what to do with themselves inside have lost their fucking minds and gone out in mass.
I mean, this is something new. So, like, people aren't used to being
Stop.
told
This
to
is
stay in the
nothing
house.
new.
I was going to say, it's nothing new.
This is nothing new. This happened already in 1918 with the Spanish influenza.
Who was? How many of us was living in?
And we were just talking about. It
How
doesn't make
many-
a difference. If you don't learn from the past, you're doomed to repeat it.
Exactly.
Listen,
3 million people died in 1918
but
when they
listen.
said, "Oh, everything is good."
Hold
Hold
on,
on. Let me make my point.
Hey, let them talk.
They opened back to everything, partying in the street, going doing what they want. What happened later that year? 20 to 50 million people died, 10 times more. So you can keep your movies, y'all can keep that stuff, whatever. I'm keeping my ass at home. If I wasn't have to work in the ER, I wouldn't be there. Y'all don't. People don't understand what it is to have to tell your boy that their mom's going to die.
And they can't be there.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Making this call to my boy Leonard. I was the last friend she saw. Everybody else she saw before she died the next morning was a hospital worker. You can't get any realer than that. I guarantee you, not one of y'all want to sit there and make that call to your friend that your mom is going to die alone.
That's actually I actually wanted to segue.
That's the honest to God truth.
I actually wanted to segue to you, John. Those of us, obviously, most of us here know what you do, but can you please explain what your job is during this pandemic?
And I want to also add in, tell us the difference from when you first started, when they brought it
like pre-pandemic to now.
I work in the ER up in Hopewell Hospital, Capital Health. I'm a tech over there on the day shift and all the other shifts because I work too damn much. But pre-pandemic, everybody was skittish about it. Some were skeptical. But my ER was very, very good, and they were proactive instead of reactive. One of the doctors, he went out and bought all the entire staff respirators, not N95 masks, respirators, P100 respirators, and we all had it from jump. But now, I'd say more than half the hospital is COVID. There's two of the main floors, all the rooms are COVID, the ICU's COVID, the ED is COVID, the ours is COVID. There's COVID all over the hospital. And thankfully, the ER is the only place in the hospital that has not tested with anyone positive.
Wow.
Nobody. And that's thanks in measure to the doctors there, the respirators, and how they are putting processes in place so we don't get infected. You know, and then you take it a step further where you have to take things into your own hands and have good practices on your own. We try to social distance, but we work in the ER. There's only so much space we can have between patients. Pre-pandemic, I don't know if people know this, but pre-pandemic, they would come out if you were in cardiac arrest. They do take measures to resuscitate you. As it stands right now in the state of New Jersey, you're getting some atropine. If it jumpstarts your heart, great. You're going to the hospital. It doesn't jumpstart your heart.
Oh my God.
And leave it there. You're staying right where you're at, and you're gonna have to call the coroner to come get the body. It's that serious.
That's insane.
People are not being transported to the hospital. They're not taking the risk. You come in with if you're suspected with COVID, nobody wants you because you're going to err on the side of caution. And part of the problem is the COVID, once it gets aerosolized from the lungs, it can go anywhere. And if you look at some of the studies, just a sneeze or a cough or just talking, it lingers. The water droplets just linger in the air and just hang there for 20 minutes. If there's no air movement, the air is stagnant, they stay right there. So they're not going to risk it. They're really not going to risk it because that stuff gets on your clothes. It can live on paper for 24 hours.
Oh my God.
Yes, on paper. It can live for 24 hours until it gets desiccated, until it dries out. On hard surfaces where the virus is not dried out, it can live 72 hours. So somebody can cough or sit on the seat that you're sitting in 3 days before and has the coronavirus. You can sit there, and just because you put your hand on it and then wipe your face or put it on your phone and then put your phone to your face, you now got it.
Oh Jesus.
It's and we've had people, I personally have seen people come in, they have signs and symptoms, they've tested negative for the virus, come back in and they're positive a week later. 103, 104 fever, dehydrated, can't breathe, your pulse ox is at 80 or 70. We had a guy walk in and his pulse ox was 64. He should have passed out long before.
Damn.
Oh my Lord.
So, and he came in and within 15 minutes, the dude was intubated, and he was early 50s. You got people. A few weeks ago, there was a girl, 27 years old, has to be intubated. It's real. It knows no age. It knows no rhyme, no reason. They're finding out new symptoms all the time. They do not know enough about this virus for people to let their guard down. And I'm not saying you got to be scared of everything and afraid of everything, but you got to be cautious. Because, on one hand, I understand that people are afraid and you got bills to pay. I get it. I wholeheartedly get it. But on the other hand, you're worried about entertainment. You're worried about how you look. You're worried about your hair, your nails.
Yeah.
Funeral home will do nails for you.
How I look? Boy, look at this hill.
That's
Man. I'm not gonna do it all the way, but
growing hair back?
Yeah, I got hair, man.
Nobody knows about how they look.
Damn, Andy, I don't think I've ever seen you with hair.
I don't think you did either. But I ain't going nowhere.
Hold on,
I
what you
definitely
rocking,
ain't seen
Granddad?
your ass with hair. You've been bald since I met you.
Gone on them.
I ain't gonna show y'all what the top look like.
Like, but
Man,
Granddad,
I've been cutting my own hair since 17, so I'm not letting mine go. Fuck that.
No, John, let me ask you a good question though. Here's one thing I haven't heard at all, right? So, there's a lot of talk about how many people get it, this and that, but how can somebody, preferably John, because he's probably seen it. I'm curious. Explain to me how does it actually kill you? Like,
what COVID presents as double pneumonia. Essentially, it crushes the alveoli in your lungs, and you can't breathe. From there, it creates your organs can't function correctly. Your body is one whole system. It's like putting sugar in your gas tank.
Mhm.
Something very simple can just destroy your tire engine. And that's what this does. It causes you to not be able to breathe. And in the process of you not breathing, your lungs have to work harder. Your heart has to work harder. You wind up with kidney failure, liver failure. All your organs start to shut down. You end up with a systemic problem where you end up in total organ shutdown and organ failure, and then you die. If you're able to make it out of it,
I just told you to be quiet.
and let the virus, and that's the thing that people have to understand, it's a virus. Viruses have to run their course. They can't be, it's not like a bacteria. It's not that. It's not a bacteria. Bacteria can be killed with antibiotics. This can't be killed with antibiotics. So all you can do is treat the symptoms. So you can let the virus run its course, and hopefully the body's strong enough to bounce back. The lung tissue winds up getting damaged. The heart sometimes winds up getting damaged. Well, now they're trying to avoid intubating. Now what they've found out is that they're proning people. That means turning them onto their stomach to take the pressure off the diaphragm, off the lung, so that the heart and everything else isn't pressing down. So it makes it a little bit easier for them to breathe. And if you're satting okay, they'll keep you there. They'll constantly turn you, but they'll try to keep you there and try to avoid intubation, because a lot of people aren't surviving when you get extubated. Reason why: the lungs are damaged, your heart is weak, your body system's weak. You wind up with cardiogenic shock, which means that your heart can't handle the load of channeling the blood.
He works in the ER, yes.
Because the machines were the ones that were doing all the pumping for you, all the breathing for you. So now your body has to do it on its own, and your body kind of forgets, which is why you have rehab. Even in that short period of time, your body gets so weak. And then when they extubate people, they're winding up expiring because their heart can't handle it. They wind up have a massive heart attack because the body's just says, I can't deal with it. Too much.
Now, last medical question I got for you. So they, like, my friend got it, and actually one of the guys I stream with on Wednesdays, he got it. Actually, y'all know him, Jose. He got it, and so when he got it, they said, listen, you got to quarantine yourself for 14 days. So that's the thing. So is safe? They're saying that the course of it, if you got it and you're healthy, is about 2 weeks?
It's about 2 weeks, but here's the problem. They don't know if you can get reinfected. It's not like any other virus. There's no data. They don't know if you get over it, you wind up with it again. They don't know. Like, we had a study that the hospital participated in, that they took everybody's blood that wanted to participate to find out if they have the antibody. I don't have it. I have negative, which I'm kind of disappointed. I kind of wanted the antibodies, which would mean, it sounds kind of weird, but what it means is if you have the antibodies, that means you had the virus. That means you got past. That means your body can, if it finds out it's reinfected, it can fight it off a lot better than a brand new unknown enemy.
Right. It's like what parents used to do to their kids who had chickenpox back in the day. Like, oh, go catch that shit so you can
Go
get it over with.
chickenpox party. Get it and get it over with.
Something like that. Correct. The only problem with this one is they don't know if you can get reinfected. Another problem is the people that have been testing positive. Well, the numbers, I will say, are completely and utterly wrong. This is why. The numbers are dependent upon human factor. It's already a known fact that people weren't doing the tests and conducting the tests correctly. You have to, in order for it to be a valid test and get a good test, they got to take the swab and stick it to the nasopharyngeal area. Essentially, that's all the way in the back. It's all the way back here, through your nose, all the way to the back, down your throat, through your nose. If you can't get your finger up your nose, you're going to take a Q-tip this long and stick it all the way up there. If they don't get enough of the virus, like any virus in the world, if there's not enough on the sample, it can't be detected. And what they were finding is that some of the people that actually tested positive, it was old virus. They also found people with new virus. So they just don't know. You have people that have immunity to it, that have been over it, never got tested. You have, and that's the key thing that people are forgetting, that these are people that were sick enough to be tested. You have, like, think about Idris Elba. He had no symptoms. He just thought he had a mild cold.
Right.
How many people you see out in the grocery stores or out in just a mild cold? No fever, no nothing. You don't know what it is. The coronavirus itself is the actual virus for the cold, for the common cold. COVID-19 is just a different, more aggressive strain of it.
Right.
That'll kill you. Most people don't die from a common cold unless you got a compromised immune system.
Like Mike.
Correct.
Or me.
Hey, John, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
What is it about Motrin, ibuprofen, the proxycillin, Advil? What is it about those particular drugs that exacerbates the?
They don't know. That study that was conducted. That was what happens is with things like this, they look for the common link between everything. And the common link between most of the people that had passed during the time of that study, that was what they were taking. So they said, oh, maybe that contributed to it. Whereas the people that were taking Tylenol, nothing happened to them. There's people that have taken Advil, all those NSAIDs, and they're perfectly fine.
So that hasn't been substantiated.
No, it hasn't. At least they haven't told us anything in the ER. And we have, we did have daily calls. We now have calls 3 times a week for updates, and we get daily updates in our email at work.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is there's a lot of like false information floating around, and I've always been of the mindset that if something was entirely true, like, hey, if you take this, it'll make it 10 times worse or whatever, it would be more well known and more broadcast than just your friend telling you because they heard it so and so say so and so. I would hope that would be it, but you got to just be very careful and research everything you hear about it, baby.
Yeah.
Don't just assume it's right just because your grandmama told you.
What did people do when this first rolled out? They went up and panic bought everything. Panic bought water, toilet paper. I'll sit there and admit I was in there too because I got 2 kids that just shit a whole lot.
A lot of asses to wipe in the house.
And, look, I just want them to be good while I'm at work.
Right.
That's what people do. They panic. The government isn't going to release certain information simply because it will cause a global panic. Yes. It will cause people to panic. So the information they disseminate to us is piecemeal, bit by bit. Some of it is misleading, and I'm not speaking against the government, conspiracy. No, I'm just talking about common sense.
Right.
It's it's like when if you're married and you're going through a divorce, or you and your wife are having problems, you try to shield the kids from it and let them know when the time comes to lessen the blow. And it's the same exact thing the government's doing. And I'm not saying that they're hiding or anything like that. It's common sense. You got to err on the side of caution because you're going to create a panic. Look at what they're doing. They go out there and over something stupid, and you're going to riot, you're going to protest, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, blah, blah.
Well, one of my favorite quotes from Men in Black is Tommy Lee Jones telling Will Smith's character that a person is smart, but people are stupid, dumb.
I live by that.
Because, like, they really are.
That's just because most people don't have common sense to begin with now.
No, it's sad, but it's true. People don't have common sense. You think common sense?
I'm sorry. I will sit here with nappy hair and looking crazy, but I'm alive. Guess what? I'll pay that extra like $10 when I finally get to go get a pedicure to get them to get that extra dry skin off my feet. It'll be okay. You will be okay. It's not like you can go to the club right now anyway. Sit your ass in the house.
Put it like this.
I was at the club last week.
You was at Club COVID. I know. I was there too.
You call it Popo in your ass. But,
COVID. Good idea, poor taste of a name.
Hey, I told my wife. I said she should have.
I'm just saying.
No, no, yeah, I hear you. My wife, actually, my wife and my daughter, that was their ideal. It started from my daughter because my birthday was Monday. My daughter's birthday was Saturday. She said we should celebrate. So my wife and her, that they all came together. Everything. I said, listen, you should name it Club Quarantine. That way, you know. She's like, no, let's. And she already made the banner. She wanted to stick to it. So, but yeah, I agree. I said because it's people dying from COVID-19, and you're naming it Club COVID-19.
Yeah.
So,
I
but
might change my Saturday stream to Club Quarantine.
no, I told you that the other day.
Quarantine.
That bad.
Avoid that
It's
copyright.
multi-purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We deviating a little bit. I wanted to jump to a different part of it that I really wanted to put out there real quick. So this whole, not defending it, y'all, but a bunch of y'all was sounding like shitheads and acting like dickheads with this constant sharing of this fucking 5G versus Corona shit.
oh God.
Right?
Oh God.
5G being the source of the Corona. I wanted to specify this, and it's good that John is on here so he can understand and actually to touch on something that Anthony actually asked about, like when did we experience this? John went back to the Spanish flu, right? I'm going to take y'all back to our lifetime. We experienced something like this twice, and we just happened to react to it a little faster. We experienced it with MERS, and we experienced it with SARS, both of which are coronaviruses, right? COVID-19 is actually named SARS-CoV-2 because it's a severe acute syndrome, right? So it has to do with the respiratory system, like BB was saying. So if nothing else with this 5G shit, coronaviruses existed before 5G even came into play. Coronaviruses have been around for a long time, and I believe BB can co-sign this for me. If I'm not mistaken, the common cold is related to the coronavirus. Am I not correct?
Yes, he said that.
The common cold is coronavirus.
The coronavirus is literally a virus that looks like a crown or the corona of the sun. That is what the coronavirus name is.
Oh, you
And
mean
then
it doesn't come from drinking Corona?
Yes,
Oh,
drinking
Side
Corona.
note, I feel so bad for them. They got fucked by that.
Look, somebody, no, that,
So much money when that shit happened. That
no, they stopped making Corona because of that.
Yes,
Because
I
they
saw
stopped
so many commercials for them trying. They
Wait.
like
Hold up, they stopped making corona
the reason why I
because
brought
of
that up, though,
Corona.
the reason why I brought that
like
up,
they shut down their
I really wanna
plant.
put that out there. Lack of information is just as bad as misinformation.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, I got two small kids, so I start reading, and like Anthony cracked the joke, I do Google everything like everybody else, but I do. I started
That's
Googling.
okay, Google.
I started reading. I'm gonna keep it 100. I actually pulled out some encyclopedias to see what a coronavirus looked like. You know, because I don't always trust everything you see on the internet.
Right.
So I wanted to see a legit picture that been around, and it matched. You know what I'm
Know
saying?
your sources.
So that being said, I'm not an expert, never proved it, but 5G is not the
Yeah,
source.
so to Franco's point, the reason why, and again, you said you've seen the video, but to Franco's point, like my thing is, whenever I hear stuff, I'm a skeptic. I don't like to believe anything, right? So I posted that video of the Corona thing because what was deep was you said it was two major issues like this. So in that video, and again, I didn't say I believed. I said this is the most deep 5G argument I heard because the guy mentioned both things you mentioned in history, and each time he pinned that not 5G, but that's when we had like a technological breakthrough. He said both times we had a breakthrough, and it happened the exact same time frame. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't fact check it, but I was like, if that's real, it's crazy. So I shared it. So that was my whole thing. So I'm not a scientist. Huh?
I actually saw that too, and I watched it originally, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty interesting, but it's full of shit.
Yeah.
What he does is he lines up with the time, but he doesn't have anything to actually correlate it. Like,
Right.
there's no physical scientific evidence.
It's correlation without causation. That's all it is.
they started electricity at that time, and boom, there was a virus going around.
Right.
So my thing is, well, shit, what technological breakthrough related to microwaves or radio waves, I believe you're saying with radio waves and stuff like that, did we have during like the colonial days and during the wars when we were fucking giving disease blankets and shit to the Indians and stuff like that, because diseases were popping up. You know what I mean? Red fever and all this other shit. Like,
Common sense.
Well, yeah, it's the same argument with anti-vaxxers and autism. Anti-vaxxers try to blame vaccines for autism, but autism was discovered long before the first vaccine was ever invented.
Yep.
And you know,
Wait,
that's
can we
not
just
to say
first of all,
anti-vaxxers are wrong or to take anything from them in case there's any anti-vaxxers watching.
no, fuck that. Take it all from them. Vaccinate your kids. I don't give a fuck what you say. Because I don't care, even if the vaccines do cause autism, guess what? Measles, mumps, rubella, all that stuff can cause death. I'll take autistic over death any day, and that's just my personal opinion.
Hey, there's an opinion.
Well, your personal opinion is also coming. I do give a fuck what you say, right? Because we're supposed to be, you know, talking about all our different views and opinions respectfully. So I would take that as you just speaking and not being disrespectful.
I'm not being disrespectful. I appreciate it.
Like I said, or as I was saying before I was rudely cut off.
Sorry.
Not to take anything from anti-vaxxers and their opinions, but if you're going to believe something, like I'm one of the people, if you're going to believe in something, you're going to own that shit on the basis of facts and stand on that shit, right? So if you believe it, but you ain't got no real facts, don't try to ram that shit down somebody else's throat and then act belligerent towards them when they don't agree with what you agree. Because I don't agree with anti-vaxxers, but I'm not belligerent towards them either.
Right.
But if you're not going to make me stand on it, if you can't give me proof to stand on it. My kids, my little kids, you damn right they're going to get flu shots and they're going to get vaccinated. You damn right, right? I got the fucking chickenpox shot when I was younger. My mom didn't. Right? Because in her generation, they didn't get them. Chickenpox was fucking them up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I got it, I never got the chickenpox again. My brother, my oldest son, everybody in the house got the chickenpox. My mom couldn't be in the house. Could you imagine not being able to be in your own home because other people in the home got chickenpox? So I had to take care of everybody. And then I caught the shit a second time. And I was literally told, good thing you had gotten the shot for chickenpox, because if you hadn't been immunized, I have a hard time saying the word, immunized to that, you would have been in a lot worse condition than you were when you got it the second time. And I was fucked up the second time.
Damn.
Chickenpox is not for adults.
No.
But
it turns into shingles.
Yeah.
It becomes very
I got chickenpox when I was 16 years old. I was down for at least 3 weeks. It messed me up badly.
You sound
like RoboCop talking through a dildo.
What kind of description is that?
You were way better using the Galaxy Buds. Why do you keep changing it up?
Because it's Eugene and he can't sit still and do something for once.
Like you turn the vibrator on, put it in your mouth, and try to have a conversation.
Oh my god! All right. So
I have to say about that because Anthony's not the only one. I know when the corona and everything, they came out with the 5G. I threw it out there. I always throw theories and everything out there because one, I'm honest. I don't fact check shit. I want people to do the work for me. So I will put it out there because I know
just lazy and retarded.
But I know I got people that's going to do it. Frank will going to fact check. Anthony's going to fact check. Ben's going to fact check.
He does what you do.
They going to do it. So all I got to do is put out there. I can put out there in the group something simple like, well, Goku could be Superman. They going to go and look at shit up and like, but still.
Here's my beating impersonation to you. You stupid motherfucker. Here's your fucked up knees.
But don't benefit me that way. So, it's less work for me.
Fair enough. I'm glad you shared that with us and you're honest.
All right, real quick. We heard from John, we heard from Franco. I want to hear from Julian. I want to know what his experience is because you're helping keep the country fed, and that's massively important. So I just wanted to give you a moment. I wanted to highlight you and just hear what your experience is working at McDonald's right now.
And before Julian, before you start, is anybody else having trouble hearing Julian?
I haven't been talking. That's probably why.
I can't hear him at all.
Yeah,
I can hear him when he does talk, but he's really low.
Yeah, it's literally like he's inside.
His volume picks up as he keeps talking, but he never talks long enough for it to pick up.
Yeah, I turned him up
I
on
can
mine,
try.
so.
I'm gonna try to
Wait,
turn my
does he have
sensitivity
his
down
on like
just a bit?
push to talk or the voice activity really
No, I do not.
low? Because if you have the voice activity really low, it's going to sound even worse.
He's
also
not
said
bad.
his
We just
volume
gotta let
low,
him
so
talk.
he can't get so loud.
Yeah, he's just not that bad. Just let him go.
All right,
My
Julian, you
work
got the
day
floor.
goes one of two ways.
Okay, here we go.
It is either busy as hell or dead as fuck. There is no in between. Because people will come through the drive-thru and it will be wrapped around the building.
Wow.
It is ridiculous. And I thought I had dealt with some assholes at the job already, but for some reason this has brought out the worst in people.
It's a new level.
One man, yeah. So we recently had to close our restrooms to the public. Some man got so mad at that, he threatened to call the cops on us. And I was not here for this conversation. I was told about this, and he just sat. The dude who had to deal with that just sat there and looked at him. And was like, he just didn't know how to respond. He was like, okay,
Hold on, Julian. Did you just say y'all had to close your restrooms to the public?
Yeah.
Yes. So
I'm surprised y'all had them open.
Yeah, it was. We were about to say we technically, as soon as we closed the lobby, we could have been able to close them. But you know, we were like, no, you can come in, you can get your food, and you can use the bathroom. But now you can't do that. You can't get free refills anymore. You can't if you get if you get coffee, and you want sugar and cream in it, you can get it on the side, but you can't mix it up inside the store yourself. You gotta take it out. People get really upset about that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I'm just enforcing them. Some dude came into the job without a face mask on.
Oh no.
And we told, and what to say, and one of my other managers that works with me told him, sir, you can't be in here without a face mask. It's literally, law. So he got upset, he left, but he came back with a face mask. So he goes back to doing what he's doing, and I'm looking at the schedule, trying to make sure everyone's got their breaks and stuff. And he walks over to me, he's like, hey, how come this guy isn't wearing a mask? And I look around and everyone has a mask on. The only one person that's got something different going on is the guy he was talking to has the mask below his nose. Now you're not supposed to wear it like that, but he has asthma and other breathing problems, so he can't breathe properly if it's above his nose, so he keeps it below it. So I look over at the guy like, everyone's wearing the mask, like his is below his nose. And I try to calmly explain that to him, that he can't breathe properly with that mask on his face, but he just goes into this tirade about how these masks are designed to be, people to breathe through. And I keep trying to tell him, like, yeah, but if you have a respiratory issue or something that, where you're not breathing normally as is, the mask isn't going to help with that. Eventually he comes back over and they get into like a little 3 to 5 minute argument. And I'm sitting here at this point thinking, I gotta get ready to call the cops because this guy he's gotten his food, but he's now still in the store and not leaving, and is getting
sick. Yeah, that's
basically they go back and forth, and eventually he just goes, okay, I want the corporate number and the number of the store, and I'm just like, okay, we're not corporate, we're a franchise, but I can give you a number. At this point, I'm like, without trying to say it to his face, I'm like, I'm going to get you the fuck out. Please get the fuck out. But I can't say that to him because I'm a manager. I can't say all that. So I give him a number and he leaves. But people are so ridiculous. Some guy, I was not here for this, but yesterday some guy apparently kicked our door so hard it broke the glass on it.
Damn.
So it's still together, but it's shattered. We don't know. Let's say the problem is we don't know exactly when because we were busy, keeping up with food, so no one saw him do it.
For clarification, where do you work at again?
I work at McDonald's. I'm a manager at McDonald's.
Hey,
you gotta kick your door for that fucking Big Mac?
Real.
That's a Big Mac attack for real.
I need them fries.
Hold on, listen.
Anthony, what's
Julian's McDonald's is actually my McDonald's. And as a customer, when I went there the other day and they're gonna tell me they don't do all day breakfast anymore, you know what I did real quick? I text Julian. Like, yo, is this true?
I thought he was gonna say he kicked the door real quick.
No, and yeah,
happening.
that is another thing people got mad at.
I got somebody on the inside. So I was like, hold up. I thought the guy was lying to me. He was being lazy. I'm like,
no, they shut that shit down. Because it's hard to get the eggs
that's
or
another
whatever.
thing we had to start doing because we don't have as many customers and we're losing a lot more food than we normally did. We had to stop all day breakfast and we had to cut a lot of the food items, and people get really upset about that. And I have to keep telling them, I don't make these choices. I'm informing you of the choices I have to do. Like, I don't make the rules. I just follow them because that's my job.
I've noticed that recently. I'm sorry, the Burger King down the street from my house, they don't even do breakfast anymore. They open up at 10 o'clock now.
The Taco Bell stopped doing breakfast. Everything
around
my
here. Fault. You want an egg muffin and I can't give it to you. I'm sorry. I can't give it to you because my bosses in power told me not to do so, and I'm not getting in trouble for it.
Meanwhile, John over there.
This bullshit. This
I'm coming.
Bullshit. I'm gonna starve if I can't get that Big Mac and no fries.
I need my double quarter pounder with cheese.
Kick that door.
Fuck that!
If you had told me in January that this shit would be going on, I would have
actually, fuck that.
Looked at you like you were crazy and told you.
Yo, what are you cooking anyway?
Yo, yeah, John, what you doing?
He already said he'd make a chicken parm with fettuccine alfredo. Man, y'all need to pay attention to get on this food kick. My fat girl knew. And I'm on the way. Pay attention.
B's showing everyone the solution. A lot of people nowadays don't know how to cook. Go learn.
I know how to cook.
Yes, make my life easier. Make my life easier.
I know how to cook. I've been cooking every day even before this shit happened. Y'all making me hungry for a burger, drone. Don't go kicking them.
Also, side note about something else. I love watching people. About to say it's very interesting looking at all the people that have been classified as essential and all the bonuses they get and stuff. I got a piece of paper with my name spelled on it wrong that says I can walk between 8 o'clock at night and 5 in the morning without getting in trouble. But my name is spelled wrong, so I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble still. Like,
shit.
What had happened
I keep going through the scenario in my head where a cop stops me. Is like, okay, you allowed to be out here? Yep. Juliar Hawes Bryan. I'm like, yeah, no, they spelled it wrong. I'm gonna need you to get in the back of the car, son. God damn it.
I'm gonna hit you. I'll hit you with
That's a good. That's on a good day that happens, bro.
Let me hit you with this, Julian. I work in a hospital.
Yep.
I make okay money, but the people that are unemployment make their money plus an additional $1,200 each pay period.
We don't deserve that. We're working.
Wait, what?
Yes, the unemployed. If you are on unemployment right now, the bill that they passed means whatever you normally get for your unemployment check, you get plus $600 a week.
What?
A week.
A week.
A week.
Yeah.
That's so essential.
So essentially, you get paid more for sitting your ass at the house than you were when you were actually working for most jobs.
Which has me upset.
But
Anthony's an ass.
Wait. The Anthony dancing. Anthony, first of all, wait. I got something for you when I'm done. But on a serious note, why are the people out here literally putting themselves at risk on a daily basis?
Facts.
So the rest of us can actually live our lives, not getting any type of bonus of anything.
For real.
Like,
No facts.
they're not getting recognition.
Now, I'm not sure. Now, this is me going to my guys to fact check again.
Listen.
This is a while back that I read that the essential workers was supposed to be getting a bonus $25,000 a year for the next 2 years.
I heard that too.
I've heard it. It has not passed yet. It's part. There is a couple different stimuluses going through the thing that have not passed yet. But before we get to that, on a not serious side note, Anthony, you got that bonus $600 that still ain't subbed to me on Twitch for $5. You cheap bastard.
Hold on, last time you said $4. Now you went to $5.
It's $4.99.
What's up, Franco?
So yeah, we got a letter at my job where they're talking. God damn it!
I know y'all want McDonald's. I'm going there. Fuck McDonald's.
I'm gonna be on 29 in a few minutes. Oh, so we got the letter at my job, and they actually called us all and had a meeting about it. So they're trying to pass a bill allegedly where essential workers will get $25,000, but it's not for 2 years. It's like $25,000 for now. The kicker is, from what we're understanding, your job has to be approved by the government as legitimate essential. So whereas BB, if he gets passed, BB will get the $25,000 because he works in a hospital. That's essential. That's a no-brainer.
Right.
My job, they can play with it. They can say, well,
yeah,
you guys are working the infrastructure, but you're really not essential. Same thing with Julian. He works in the food industry, but they can say, well, you work at McDonald's. Technically, people don't have to eat McDonald's to survive, so you're not essential.
No, I think he.
Yeah, they can go to the
How they
grocery
gonna treat these
store.
teachers though?
They're going to try to play with it and pick and choose who's going to get that if it gets approved and if it gets passed.
But then my question is, how they gonna treat these teachers?
What about what's not true?
That's just like True, Justin, and Eugene are like, I don't know exactly what Eugene drives for, but I know you and True are in the education system. True's a teacher. You're a driver for the school system. I don't know where Eugene drives for right now, so I don't know what he is doing. I know
he's not for nobody.
Okay, where you were driving for. I don't know if it was for a school or for some other thing. I don't know if you were doing like.
Yep.
Okay.
Really?
So, okay, so not so much for Eugene, but you have Justin and you have True. True is a teacher. Justin drives for a school system. He's under contract for a school system. They can't because their shit's been shut down. Now, I know Justin, you said your stuff was paying still. I don't know if it's still
I'm contracted under the NJEA, so under contract, as long as we fulfill some minor obligations, we basically still get paid per contract. So I can't file unemployment.
No.
And
Facts.
I also, the only other thing I was able to do because I have a small business, so I was able to apply for the small business loan, and I got that, and it's just me and my little DJ company, so it's not like I got a bunch of money. But it helped. I'm not going to complain either because it helped.
Right.
Now, I don't know, teacher. Are you like under contract or anything, True, or are you just whatever?
Yeah, I'm under contract, and the way it works is since my contract and my salary was already budgeted for the year, I'm straight. I'm still getting paid from that, but at the same time, all this extra work with this online teaching and making sure that I am available until basically from 7 in the morning till 2, 3 in the afternoon for students and parents and the teacher I assist and all these other knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone type shits that motherfuckers need to be able to contact me for.
Justin dying. Knick-knack, paddywhack killed him.
I'm dying. Mary was like, "What's this?"
So look, let me just say something about the unemployment thing though. So the unemployment, it took me 3 weeks for my unemployment to even get recognized. But the unemployment thing is, remember, when you're on unemployment, you get a percentage of what you was making, which isn't high, and so that 600 is supposed to add.
You get about 60% of your salary.
But in 100% honesty, now I don't know what you were making
right
stuff, whatever. Most jobs, the base pay is not $600 a week that you take home. A lot of jobs, that's like, most people are working, what is it called? Minimum wage or maybe a little higher. And that's definitely 100% not $600 a week. So it's a lot more.
So I was confused.
Like some people was working and only bringing in like 200 a week. Now they're getting that extra 600 when they wasn't really making that at work.
Yeah, there's people making more a week than I make now.
Versus the people that really should have been getting it.
Like basically, what you get paid a week for unemployment is 2 weeks worth of what I got to do at the school.
Yeah, no, that's basically
And that's a week.
I think that 600 was a little much, and I think they should have just matched your full 100% salary.
Man,
and I just
Well,
leveling it out.
Well,
that's the problem, Ken. That's
if
the
we're
problem.
gonna legit talk about money, what people should be getting paid, and I'm sorry, I've been beating people over the head with this for months, but they need to initiate a UBI. They do it in other countries. They do it in Canada. Their people get $2,000 a month, period, straight up, $2,000 a month. It's been through it's been through the House. The House has talked about it. They're trying to implement it in the next bill. The Senate's not hearing it. Obviously, Andrew Yang's been talking about it, but UBI, in my opinion, is the truest way to go. They keep using the same trickle down model that just doesn't work. Oh, let's give these big corporations money and they're going to give their people and then they'll use it to pay their people. No, it's bullshit. They just don't.
That's another thing I want to talk about is all these big publicly owned companies that got all this relief money and I've been told they need to give it back and they're refusing to give it back. Like, I don't think companies that are still, yes, you're going to lose some money in this, but giant companies like Harvard School should have been given any kind of relief money right now. I think it should have been more focused on the smaller things that can afford to pay their employees and stuff like that. And they're like, Harvard gave it back, yes.
I wouldn't even use Harvard as an example.
They gave it back, but like, what was it, Shake Shack or something was one of them?
No. I wouldn't use them as an example because they're pieces of shit. When the whole Weinstein thing came out,
yeah,
not on Weinstein. What's the other guy? Bernstein.
Oh,
the one that got killed in jail and they can't commit suicide.
Epstein.
Yeah, Epstein. Jeff Epstein.
When they found out that Epstein had through his different companies, he like loaned, he gave money to all of these different places. All the places like, yo, you know what? We didn't know about him. Here, we're gonna get that money back. Fucking Harvard wrote a letter saying we ain't giving shit back. We ain't got nothing to do with him. What he did, he an alumni, but we ain't giving shit back. So you really think they gonna give back the money that they fucking got as support? I mean, shit. Harvard brings in like something $1 billion a year.
Facts.
They bring in enough money that nobody that goes there should have to fucking pay tuition.
Yeah,
no.
People don't realize that. Harvard is big fucking business. And Harvard is capitalizing off of the COVID-19 situation, just like a lot of other,
Anybody that capitalizes off of the situation can go straight to hell, in my personal opinion.
You know what I mean?
I don't think anybody should profit off of a situation like this at all.
No,
there's no reason.
It's absolutely insane.
That goes all the way from the companies that don't want to give back the money. Whose cat is going crazy right now?
Franco went dark, and Eugene looked like he's sitting in a cave.
It's getting dark outside.
Turn on a light. Whose cat is literally all up in their shit?
It's probably Eugene.
Not bad.
Is that Peppa?
Yeah.
You know it is. That's what he is always.
Get that cat some food.
So that goes for everything from Harvard to the people like that are the guy that bought 4,500 rolls of toilet paper and all that damn hand sanitizer and now stuck with it.
You know what, Kim, since we're on the subject of that, right? I want to talk about this store in my area called Superfoods of Trenton. I went there a couple of weeks ago, right? How much? Let me ask you a question. How much on average do a dozen of eggs cost?
You seen it too, right?
Like it's been going like 120 to 150 here, depending on the store.
These motherfuckers were trying to get $10 for a dozen of eggs.
$9.99 for a dozen eggs. Medium eggs, not extra large eggs.
Not even the large eggs, the medium ones.
No, the medium.
They were trying to get $9.99 for it, right?
Anybody that price gouges right now can just get over it too.
Yeah, go to hell.
A 32 case of bottled water, right? They wanted $7 for that. Ground beef, they were trying to get $8.99 a pound.
No.
Ground beef.
Well,
they were price gouging straight across the board.
Well, yeah, and the thing is with that's not even one store. That's it's becoming the new norm. That's the way of the world. This dude went into his local area.
It's being cracked down.
This was on the news. He went through his local area and bought every bottle of hand sanitizer for like
and every roll of toilet paper
a 15-mile radius, and then tried to sell them shits on Amazon and eBay for all types of exorbitant prices.
Got shut down, and then he tried to return it to the stores and get his original money back. Nope.
You own that shit now.
Better start giving that shit away.
Because your hand's been all over it, so we ain't taking it back.
Which
No,
makes sense.
no, because you were dumb and bought it all trying to make some money in a time of need, and now you stuck with it, and you better make the best fucking toilet paper for it you can, and just deal with it.
Because I know you was gathering numbers.
Oh yeah, by the way, that same store, they want like $4 for a roll of paper. So they'll actually open up the bags of toilet paper, right? And they're trying to sell them shit individually.
Oh shit!
Another thing that is making me angry is just it's on the hoarding thing where people are going in and hoarding. So you have people who can't even go in and like, all right, we have a lot of people in this household. We have 4 adults and 2 kids. So we need like more than 1 can of anything we might happen to be making for dinner to make it like enough to feed the people. But you can't buy more than like 1 can of beans at a time right now at any of the stores near here because people in there buying every bit of stock they can. So you got to go to the store 3 nights in a row just to make 1 dinner, basically, with the way everything is being counted out. Or you just ain't going to eat anything but like some meat. That's all you get for dinner.
We got a lot of people in my house too, so I know what you're saying.
It's hard, and like I've only left the house a couple times. I went to a doctor's appointment about a month ago, and I literally just went to the doctor. I was the only one in there because they had gotten rid of most of the other appointments that weren't essential at the time. Went in, got home, haven't left the house. And then yesterday I had to leave the house to go do laundry for the first time. And thankfully nobody was up in the laundromat with me. But then I was like, well, F it, I'm out. Let me stop at the liquor store. I might as well because I need some alcohol for my drunk podcast. So I went in there and there was like nobody there. Listen, don't judge me. But this poor lady was pushing her tequila so hard. I'm like, listen, honey, I can't drink tequila like that because tequila makes bad things happen. But I'll take this vodka and going home. Thank you. But there were so many people just out walking around. Like, la-di-da, I ain't got nothing to do. In my county, they have the face mask order, which means if you're out in public, you're supposed to have something covering your face.
Right.
I don't know if it was worse to see more people walking around with nothing on completely, the ones with it hanging below their nose, or the ones that literally were walking around with the face covering, but it was around their neck. Like, what good?
We see that shit a lot out here.
Is it doing around your neck? Do you breathe out your neck?
I tell you this. I tell you this. If it was warmer here, it'd be a problem. We're lucky that it's not that nice outside. I can't imagine what it's gonna be like.
It's 95 degrees here today.
No, you know
like
what? I live 20 minutes from the shore. I 100% agree with you. If they're
gonna be out there in bikinis with a mask, and it's gonna match, and they're gonna be shooting up on the beach. That's what's gonna happen.
And
so they'll be looking like a woman.
And guess what? The fat ass is still gonna be in the house.
Yes, exactly.
I kid you not.
Laughing at the new tan lines that are going to be right here on everybody's face.
For real.
I kid you not. I had to run to the store on Friday. The first thing I see when I pull out of the neighborhood are 2 girls walking in basically boxer briefs and some janked ass thrown together sports bras and nothing else.
Listen.
And them shits was see through.
Oh, you got a show.
You got a show. What you complaining for? You got a free show.
Hey, you got a free show. Stop crying.
I don't give a fuck about a show in the middle of fucking COVID when you got people dying.
Yeah, see, that's what you call responsibility.
No, you know what,
no, put your titties away. It's COVID season.
To be honest with you, though, the best thing we could do is just cautious. At the end of the day, if you listen, when you go to stores, you gotta wear your mask, obviously, and they're making it mandatory.
Don't touch it.
You got like when I come back in the house because I barely go anywhere, so I'm like going crazy. But I barely go anywhere. But I went to Lowe's the other day. I bought a new lawnmower, so I'm doing stuff around the house. Right, I had to clean my sewage, whatever. But when I come home, I quickly go to the bathroom and wash my hands. I mean, long story short, we can't worry about what other people are doing. You see somebody walking down the street with bikinis, with a mask under, you just don't go near them, first of all. And then you make sure you do what you do. You come home and you wash your hands and you go about your day. I mean, it just is what it is, man.
No, I feel you.
Just real quick before we jump into a different subject and Randall,
yeah, because I do got some
numbers and stuff. Did you get any numbers on what the recovery rate was? For those that did recover.
No, you know what? I didn't. Shit, I had them. No, I do not have them. I could get them, but I'm sure somebody else is going to get them before me.
I think the recovery rate was like 98,000 or something like that. Yeah,
It's close to
well,
100,000
you know
people
what? It's
that are
funny.
recovered.
The U.S. was 90 something thousand, and I thought it was ironic because for all the people that recovered, almost 50% have died. So like people like, yeah, but like almost 100,000 people recovered, and I'm like, yeah, but like 50 something thousand people died. Like,
So are you
Yeah.
saying when you say recovery,
It's not
you're
a win.
saying the people who were infected and had it infected them, like they had to be hospitalized and recovered? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
They don't specify that they be
They don't
hospitalized, but they recovered.
specify
So I'm
it like
assuming
that.
there were people that were hospitalized.
Yeah, I just posted the stats in the group.
Why you just didn't say it?
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're sitting here talking.
He wants somebody else to read it. I guess that's you, Anthony.
Well,
Yeah,
why don't
right.
Eugene just read it, Eugene? Participate, bro. You brought it up. It's your part of the topic.
No, that's something else I want to speak about.
Lord Jesus.
All right.
This man.
Then I got it. I got it. So right now I'm looking at the numbers for my area. In my area where I live in Georgia, there are 1,788 confirmed cases with 36 deaths, whereas Georgia has 22,695 confirmed cases with 904 deaths. As it stands right now,
You okay?
as it stands right now in the U.S., there are 983,000 confirmed cases, 109,000 confirmed recoveries, and 55,333
Yeah.
deaths.
Franco nailed it. 50%.
Now check this out, though. I want to give y'all a snapshot into that. Can you read how many deaths you just said again?
For the U.S., there
Yes.
are 55,335 confirmed deaths.
So at 447, I looked at 437. I looked at the update, and it was 55,070 deaths in the U.S. That should give you an idea why this shit ain't no joke. Because look how many deaths just jumped up in
An
what,
hour?
2 hours?
Yeah,
An
an
hour,
hour.
maybe?
We ain't even been on an hour and a half.
No, dog. The scary fact is, it's also showing me the worldwide. Worldwide deaths are 205,000, which means we are covering a fourth of the deaths in the
That's
U.S.
like,
alone.
yeah.
That's fucking wild.
Here's the
We're
thing.
covering a fourth of the deaths and almost a third of the confirmed cases.
Dude, we are
Here's
literally
the thing.
we're five,
Everybody
like
needs.
it's 2,900,000. It's 2.95 million confirmed cases worldwide. So
Because of nonsense.
a sneeze away from 3 mil.
That is crazy. But not to
Here's
me.
the thing. That's the number that they need. The key word there is confirmed.
Confirmed.
They're
And
not
that's what I
talking
wanted
about people that never went to the hospital, that never went to a thing,
Right.
that got over it, and now when they go check for the actual RNA, because that's
That
what
ain't
they
worth
look.
shit.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're looking for to confirm the diagnosis. Is they're looking for the actual RNA of the virus to confirm that you actually had it. A lot of people they were finding that tested negative and positive had the virus that was in their nose. Some of it was live, some dead. That's the problem. They don't know if they're actually infected and they're contagious. They need a live sample of the virus to verify everything. And then they also have what's called viral shedding. What shedding is also another form of that is contagious, where it's the virus is able to be picked up in your sputum, in your lungs, in your spit, in everything that you exhale, and then be transmitted to somebody else. So what happens is your numbers are completely and utterly skewed no matter what you do,
Right.
because unless every single solitary person in the United States and around the world submits to the test, you never have an accurate number.
No,
Right.
you never.
And then
You
on the
never
flip
have an accurate
side, there's cases where they said some people died and they said it was coronavirus, but it wasn't also. So I mean, it's
Well,
crazy.
They say it's not coronavirus, but they tested positive. What they do is they say that it died from corona complications.
Right.
Because had you not had the coronavirus, it wouldn't have killed you. Wouldn't have died from your diabetic aspect of it, or you wouldn't have died from multisystemic organ failure because you had the coronavirus. What actually killed you? You had a massive heart attack. Yeah, but what was the underlying cause? was the coronavirus.
That's just like exactly. There's a lot of diseases out there besides corona that can't kill you themselves, but the things that they cause do kill you.
They cause what'll kill you.
Like my mom, MS, but she didn't die from MS. She died from a septic shock infection or a septic infection. And it was because she had MS and her immune system was so jacked up to begin with that the infection was could get that bad to kill her. But that's where it's all going to throw it off. Like,
the other thing you want to look at is with these numbers, and this is what I was thinking of. You look at China and you look at Italy right now, right? How like Italy was a fucking raccoon city of this shit at one point, for lack of a better word.
Right.
But they're reporting lower numbers than us, but they literally had to shut down their whole country.
Everything.
Had people that were out in the countryside that weren't coming in, had to go build makeshift hospitals. So imagine how many of those people didn't get diagnosed or confirmed. Same thing with China. China is very good at skewing the information that comes out. How much information they really giving us?
Lie.
Exactly. Like, how much information are they giving us?
Right.
To tell us how many people really tested positive with it?
And the reliability of
but even with them skewing those numbers, just think about the amount of people that live in the big cities compared to out in the boonies and hill countries and stuff like that don't have the ways of testing and getting stuff confirmed and are just sitting there, drinking herbal teas and whatever, their generations have passed down to deal with stuff and don't go to doctors and stuff like that.
And that's another sad commentary about Middle America, because a lot of these redder states in Middle America, they're looking at it, oh, well, we're more spread out, so we're not as susceptible. But the fact of the matter is that's really not the case.
Does the wind still blow? I mean,
let me,
you still breathe air?
Yep.
Let me put it to you like this. They know for a fact that coronavirus is transmitted through water droplets, which in medical terms, they put either on airborne precautions or droplet precaution. They go back and forth with that simply because droplet precaution is if somebody coughs on you and it can fall on the spot. Airborne precautions are if it's aerosolized. Now you're talking about a virus that, one, requires moisture, lives in the lungs, lives with air, can live on hard surfaces for up to 3 days, on paper for a whole day. It can literally hang in the air. Now you got hospitals, the makeshift hospitals, the little triage areas in the middle of the park. All those things are venting everything. You're venting all that stuff up into the atmosphere. Now, where does it go? The virus isn't dead. Cold doesn't kill this. People say, oh, the heat will kill it. You need over 200-degree heat in order to kill the virus.
Thank you for clarifying.
I appreciate that. I absolutely appreciate that.
Thank you.
Summer ain't gonna help nothing.
I was gonna say a heat wave is not gonna help nothing.
This thing is someone. I was watching something on television. They questioned that. Oh, the heat. Donald Trump. The heat. Let's see. This thing is thriving in places like Hawaii, places that are like literally hot all year round.
Look,
So
I know this might come as a shock to a lot of people who do not have medical qualifications. Your body hot. It's 98.6, give or take a few degrees. These 92-degree days in some places, even to 100, ain't gonna do shit to something that can live in your body.
Exactly.
So unless it literally starts like boiling outside where it's gonna kill your ass anyway, it ain't gonna do nothing to the virus.
Plain and simple. If your ass can't turn into human flesh, you're getting it.
Which actually segues well into something I wanted to talk about. And this will probably get sillier than serious. But our wonderful commander in chief and his presentation to the country.
Listen, all he was simply saying was make America clean again.
Where the kids shooting?
You know what? I feel a cough coming on.
My man looked at the Tide Pod challenges and went, that seems like a good idea.
I feel a cough coming on. Let me go and cure that shit real quick.
Look,
I seen on Facebook where it said about like 30 people were already hospitalized in New York because of that.
Listen.
I really hope that's not true.
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
if it
All
was
I
that
can
sad,
say
get out.
about this whole thing with what the president
CDC said they got a bunch of calls that night.
as a meme that I saw, and it's 100% true, is y'all better shut up and let these white supremacists drink the bleach and just go on about your day. Because
you know what's funny
I
about
mean,
that?
if they're dumb, if you are honestly 100% dumb enough to do this, just because your president tells you to do it, it is called natural selection.
So hold up. Here's the thing.
It's natural selection.
Let's
That's
just
all
put
I'm
this
gonna
out
say.
there. Let's just put this out there to set the premise. So I remember Eugene posted it on Thursday night. I was doing the show on Thursday night, right? And Eugene posted in the comments, and I'm looking like, oh, it's just something dumb that Eugene's putting. And he was like, no, I'm serious. So I wanted to look at it and
To
hear
be
from
fair,
myself.
Eugene has been unreliable with his sources many times, so I understand.
Yeah, and here I keep hearing the soundbite of him saying that the president. So I went back in the other day. I was like, I want to see leading up to it because in no way he could have literally, So I wanted to see it for myself. So I will say this: he did say, he did say,
he can't even say it without laughing.
Wait, I can't say it without laughing. But he did say,
no one can.
The doctor before he said it. He did say I'm not a doctor. But however, he didn't say you should do this. He said
no.
Stop. Because we gotta, because some people may not heard it and are watching us and they're just taking us off face value. So he did say he looked at a medical professional and said, "Do you think?" I'm sorry for laughing, but he said, "Do you think you could look into injecting or putting ultraviolet light or light and disinfectants inside of the body? Do you think that's something that can work?" He didn't say, "Hey, America, go do this."
Listen.
The fact that he said it
the medical professional's reaction.
Do you want to, or can I? Do you want to, or
wait,
can I?
Let Franco. Wait, let Franco.
Wait. I didn't say wait. I said wait a minute. Wait a minute. The fact that you just sat here, and I'm going to let Justin and BB follow up because I see both of them look like they would follow up.
Drone, stop it.
You just sat here and tried to casually word that and not just say, listen, our president's a fucking idiot. The fact that he turned to a medical professional and said, hey, do you think that we can look into injecting fucking Ajax or fucking bleach into our bloodstream? You think that's a viable option?
Meanwhile, the medical professional is literally sitting there like,
that was a really good.
I had a hard time.
Her reaction was the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
I love that shit, yo.
She literally just sitting there like,
her soul legit died in that
she
moment.
She was like this.
But wait, y'all heard his response that he just said. Did you hear his response to him? He said he was being sarcastic.
He's trying to backpedal.
He said I was being sarcastic and wanted to see if they were reporting.
That
was a dangerous thing to say. Like, no.
It was out of all of Trump's lies. It was one of the boldest because I watched, and they did, I saw that they did a press conference in the Oval Office. He says being sarcastic, and he even looked at one of the reporters and said, "I was talking to you." He was like, "I wasn't there." I'm like, "What?"
I was talking to you. Bitch, I wasn't in the room.
Wait,
I was at home.
Wait. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Mercy, you have to stop calling Justin DJ Khaled. He's gonna get you.
He ain't doing it in my chat, so I don't care. It's whatever.
I'm sorry. I still want to know.
Remember that word that was calling Justin DJ Khaled? Tell him to do me a favor. Go on Google DJ Khaled.
Google DJ Khaled right now. This cat looks like a terrorist sitting in a bunker.
If you're going to call somebody else, at least make sure they kind of sort of have some type of resemblance. Khaled looked like a fat, overweight, old-ass terrorist dad who just lost his job making bombs. Like, how do you even get that correlation?
Franco, technically you aren't wrong. He does make bombs. Have you heard his songs lately?
Have you heard his songs? You're right. But thank you, Base Guy, for 9 months. And our Twitch baby's name is Eldon. Okay. Who is a cowboy? Let me go around and explain because I've got a lot of my people are coming in. A lot of my usuals are coming in because, first of all, I don't usually stream on Sundays. I usually take Sundays off. But now everybody's coming in because like, what the hell? Okay, so up in the top corner, this is going around my screen the way it looks to me. We have Anthony, who is the cowboy.
I'm a cowboy.
There it is.
Oh, granddad.
Why?
AKA Granddad. Look, listen. And then next up we have BB, who is our like in-house meta. He pretty cute. Okay. Okay. In-house meta.
Married. Let it. No.
Shoot, shot.
He's married.
Make that person a bottle of water and tell him to go lay down. He's taking.
Mercy, stop
It's
being
for my
thirsty.
baby.
Yes, BB. Then we have Eugene. No discretion up in the top right.
Look like you're sitting in a damn cave.
You know Justin because you've been hanging around here for a while, Mercy.
What up?
To my right is Franco. Below Justin is.
Trying to get him a date.
I don't get no background.
He can hop in my ambulance anytime. All right, listen, Mercy.
Okay.
Calm down.
Yeah.
And then below Justin is Mike. Now in the background you can hear them, but you can't see them because they're not on cam. Is True and Static Nerd. AKA
for the camera.
Julian. Don't worry, I'm the newest member at Jade here. I'm the baby.
He's the
literally
baby.
the youngest person in this call.
I'm the
It's
old
weird.
man.
Wait, can we talk about? It's weird that I'm not the youngest anymore.
Never was.
Who was younger than me?
You're older than me.
Guilty.
I'm the youngest.
About to say, I'm only younger than True by a couple years.
How old are you right now, sir?
Me or True?
Yeah, so am I.
But your
What
birthday's
month
before
were you
mine.
born in?
Your birthday's before mine.
By like what? A day or no? Like a month or two, maybe.
A month.
Okay, fine. I was close to being the youngest, but I was always younger.
Oh, Kim and my
Cowboy is
pretty girls. It's okay.
All right.
Listen, I would have been the prettiest girl. Damn it! Look at those cannons. Listen, Mercy, you don't go stroking his ego anymore. He does not need it.
All right.
That's the one you don't need to be stroking.
I wanted to because like I want to get back on what we were talking about because this whole like
stroking.
Listen,
I want to be stroking.
I missed the conversation. Who ego is Mercy stroking?
Anthony.
You don't need to be stroking nobody. Let's move on.
Listen, I'm just.
I told you it's the one that doesn't need the stroking.
All right, Kim, you said it looked like the old guy with this little thing on.
You do look like an old man, but old men need love too. It's okay.
Look, see, you get you one of these, and the girls be looking.
Tears of laughter.
First of all, Mercy's a boy. So first of all, let's get it straight. Mercy's a boy, so go ahead and work them titties out a little bit more for her.
Still a compliment.
It's still a compliment.
He right.
We love everybody in this stream. We love everybody in this stream, okay? We don't care who you love, whatever. And I can't get me one of those because it will block my titty girl my streamer girl tits if I wear that thing. And then I lost everything, okay? I can't get paid.
Anthony, I've been resisting saying this the whole stream since everybody keeps going back to the hat. But every time I look at you, I literally expect to hear, "Listen, boss, it is just me over here playing that's what I see when I see you."
You're wrong for that.
I'm sorry.
Dang.
That was my cartoon, man.
Y'all's wild.
No.
Oh,
Anthony's old. I better not die from corona because I've never had a drop of alcohol in my life.
Just saying, man. You know?
Hey, I drank last night. I'm still here.
I still have my empty
Listen,
bottle.
I'm surprised Mike's still here.
Like, you know what? Just because you said that, I'm gonna go grab me a sip of Crown Apple right now.
Do it. You already knew my ass was drunk last night.
Let's all have a drink right here.
Yo, Kim's still trying to get people drunk from other states.
Look, I was drunk as hell last night during my stream. There is no shame in my game. I don't give a fuck.
So look, I guess this is our halftime show.
Yes.
I guess so.
Everybody, let's go get drunk.
What? There's nothing wrong with drunk.
Hey man, that just means the opinions will get a lot realer.
Everybody,
I'll be back making your rounds. Okay, Mercy, I'll be here.
But I had a side note on that, the press conference and what he said. I posted on something on Facebook the other day. I don't know how many of you saw it. And the side note I want to touch on is how everyone is on edge and everyone is mad sensitive. I mean, nerve sensitive right now. I posted on.
Damn, he done got the bottle of wine and the corkscrew. He ready to go. Let's go.
This is what I posted on Facebook. I was like, why the fuck is Donald Trump low-key trying to create the Incredible Hulk? Obviously, obviously a reference to the ultraviolet light and the injection of disinfectants. And, of course, I got some laughter in the comments. But then I also got a couple of people like, oh, he didn't say that. And, oh, let's talk about this and not go on that. And I'm like, wow. Like,
matter of fact, their names are. Hold on.
We want this podcast to thrive. It's literally about to one-shot nuke the podcast. No, do not do that.
You do it.
No doxing.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
We finally get everybody together, and Eugene's about to kill it for everybody.
Yeah. Put your phone away. Jesus Christ.
No more internet for you. Damn. Lost the privileges.
See?
Because
and this is why Gene has to have adult supervision.
The point I'm trying to make is I was clearly joking. I did not mean it seriously. I meant it in jest. And people are so sensitive. And so they get butthurt so easily. John, fuck that shit. What you working on, John?
You ain't see him bring out the whole bottle and crack it open with the corkscrew and everything while you talking.
What's hard is this is a touchy time.
It is. I totally agree.
So it's hard because somebody make a joke everybody's cool with, right? If you joke about the president, it's cool. If you call a club COVID-19, it's not cool. So like everybody have their own thing that they're okay with and that they're not okay with.
No, is Club COVID the best idea? Probably not, but this shit was funny at the moment.
You know somebody go to a club like that next year.
You know what I mean? That's kind of like when the Whitney Houston memes came out like a week after she died. And everybody was like trying to make all these memes using, imagery from her bathroom and stuff, thinking that shit was funny. And I'm like, look, at the end of the day, that's a human being that died. Shit ain't funny. So now you show me that meme now, I probably laugh at it.
Right.
He just said, too soon.
But as far as the Trump thing, I think it's ironic that people got upset at Justin's joke about Trump trying to make the Incredible Hulk. But on the flip side of that, I guarantee you those are the same people who are either saying that 5G created the coronavirus, or they're saying that, oh, you don't need to wear your mask and gloves, or they're saying that, oh, not that many people really died. Or my favorite one is the governments of the world got together and had this meeting. And I think the meeting kind of went like this. Hey, what you think we should do for 2020? I got an idea. Let's release a virus on all our people and shut down all our governments and all our economies just so we can keep the ball going on.
Hit the reset button.
Hold up, Franco, or you left out, they could just possibly be Trump supporters also.
That's also that.
Or it could be.
I want to talk about a meme that I seen, which was a lot of people, I don't want to say they got offended by it, but I found it pretty funny. Now, y'all probably seen the picture with the nurses walking down the hall with all the superheroes, and they had Iron Man, Dr. Manhattan, all that. And one of the persons said, if he wanted to, Dr. Manhattan, cure, could wipe out this whole virus just like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking that's probably true, but the only thing goes to my mind, why is anybody saying nothing to him? Because I'm pretty sure Dr. Manhattan ain't got no damn drawers on.
Y'all focusing on that.
Only Mike. I love you, Mike.
Let that man.
I'm serious. I cannot be. Even if I was on the team, I was having an issue with that. I cannot fight crime with any one of y'all that want to run around.
Read her out. What if I was running around with my titties out and fighting crime?
I can deal with that.
Hey, you know what? If you're fighting crime, I'm just gonna be grabbing them. Oh, shit, my bad.
Hey Kim,
Yeah.
tell Mercy to subscribe to my channel.
As soon as you subscribe to mine.
Oh. Well, it costs money to subscribe to yours.
How do you think I get paid? It's called supporting your friend in her time of need.
I'm actually
I sit through the commercials.
Listen.
I'll throw you $4, but I don't subscribe on a monthly basis.
But don't worry, Kim. As soon as my Twitch sub is up with Justin, you can have it.
Wait, hey, ain't nothing wrong with Hello Kitties and big titties. No, there's nothing wrong with Hello Kitties and big titties. Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Black. All right, Kim.
I have branded my whole freaking Twitch career on the fact that I have titties. My logo has cleavage. Come on.
Never noticed.
You never noticed my logo has cleavage.
No, he never noticed you got
sarcasm.
Like, didn't you just update your logo?
Yeah. Yes, I did. I have a big old titties command in my chat.
Look, they didn't know they had a. They didn't know. It's not that
It
they didn't know
makes
your logo
noise
had
when you
titties. It's
play
that
it.
they didn't know you had a logo because they was looking at the titties.
I mean, the titties is on the logo too, but yeah.
I'm going
So,
to.
I mean,
Are there any other topics anyone wants to touch on while we're still talking about Corona?
Oh, I thought we were
So
talking
I
about.
can't wait for K Ovid to pop up in the next indie show.
Listen,
the wrestling event.
Wait, what was that? I couldn't hear him.
I said just that I can't wait for someone named K Ona to show up at the next indie wrestling event when they start doing
I know
those again.
something like that.
Oh wow!
Because you know someone's going to do it.
No, there's already people who are having babies right now, naming their kids either Corona.
Oh, we about to have a lot of babies.
It already happened already.
There's going to be a lot of babies in December.
There's gonna be a lot of unemployed motherfuckers later.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
No, you know, not for
Corona. No, we can't hire you, baby. I'm sorry.
No, here's the thing that we didn't talk about though. John got a good point though. When you think about it, imagine when stuff start to go back, there are gonna be a lot of people without jobs. Because think about it, some jobs are gonna come back and not be able to hire everybody. They're not gonna.
Nothing is gonna go back to the way it was. This is gonna change the way we handle our lives every day forever. Like nothing is gonna go back exactly the way it is.
But what I'm saying is,
like a lot of jobs are not gonna have the money to bring people back. A lot of jobs are going to realize that they didn't even need all these people to begin with to get the stuff done that they had. A lot of jobs are going to realize, hey, we don't need this office building anymore because our jobs can be done at home and it's cheaper.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen.
You know,
that's going to be a big impact.
There's going to be
a lot of how the world works in certain ways. Because absolutely backing up what Kim said, yeah, a lot of employers are going to be like, well, shit, we just had almost our entire workforce work from home, and we were able to manage, get by, and make things work. Let's start implementing some of these things on a permanent basis, and it's going to change a lot of shit.
It costs X amount to rent this building out for everybody to come here and sit here and do the same things they're doing at their house. We don't have to pay the rent for that. If we have to have a meeting, it's cheaper to rent out a conference hall and a freaking hotel once a month to sit down and have our get-togethers and have everybody come there rather than paying like X amount of hundreds of thousands of dollars to rent out this huge building anymore. You don't even need it.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Well,
I only say that because my sister's job is already talking about it. And my sister, she works for a merchandiser she works for a merchandiser that goes into the stores and she does resets and stuff like that. They're already talking about implementing the stay home thing and just coming together once a month to do meetings and stuff like that when they have to. And like, oh, this person needs to send out this, and this, just send it directly to them instead. Will it be as huge? No. But go ahead, John.
Two things. I wasn't against the stimulus thing, and I understand why they had to do it to bolster the economy, because you got people that aren't working, and you need money. The country runs on money. The United States is a capitalist society. You need money in order to continue to run. So these families need money. I'm not knocking that one at all, and I get it. A little jealous that you're making more money than me, but be that as it may, it's not going to be forever. So I understand why they got to do that. Yeah, you little man right there.
The cowboy.
I ain't mad at that.
I didn't ask to get. First of all, I didn't ask to get laid off. I'm just saying, and I didn't ask the country to do that.
You're right, Molly. Capitalism is not prepared for the pandemic.
But here's the problem with working from home. Here's the problem with working from home: data security. It's not a big thing right this second because they don't have the time to hack all these systems, and they're scrambling. And you got people sitting there in server rooms and all this, securing all the data and making sure that they don't have data breaches. I guarantee you, as soon as all of this blows over and they have the time to dedicate the resources and to investigate everything, they're going to see that there's been a whole slew of data breaches and stuff that's just been hacked and information shared all over the place. That's the problem.
They've had a couple of those already come out.
Yeah.
But if
The
you
infrastructure is not set up that way. Most companies don't have it.
No, it's true. But my old company I used to work for, so they had in California, the California office, they just met up, like Kim said, they rented a space, met up every so often, right? Now in Pennsylvania, the office in Pennsylvania, when we worked from home, they had a private VPN, but they had a big server room in the office, and then people would get on that. So when you did your work, you had to be on that VPN in order to do your work. So I think that's what a lot of companies might do. If you have your own VPN, then you don't have to worry about people being hacked and stuff like that.
And even if you got your own VPN, you need an access point. You go to somebody's house and hack into their network and access their network from their site. That's how that works.
That's true. A VPN will protect you from that.
Somebody got to go to
VPN don't protect you from that.
Yeah.
No,
well, that kind of thing, but that kind of thing is already going. It's getting more like we used to hear, so and so got hacked. Here's your new debit card. This person. But already there's been like 3 or 4 gaming. Like Xbox had a thing where it happened. Nintendo just had one that had happened. Like I know about more of the gaming stuff because I'm on Twitch, so I'm around.
PS4 gave away what?
PS4 had it, like all the big gaming because they knew everybody was home. And everyone's home, so they're going to be on these systems, and more people are going to be using these on a regular basis. So the hackers use this opportunity to do that. And even like low-key dumb hackers are going through and like there's a big thing going around where people are getting a lot of text messages about their Netflix being compromised and them needing to change their password.
Yeah,
to
watch
set
that bullshit.
password.
That's how they get
My
you.
Netflix is using India. Some Indian guy got mine.
Like no, my brother-in-law got it. He's never had Netflix in his name in his life. We've always used my sister's. So like it's just like okay, whatever. But like all these things, like it's gonna happen with like Disney Plus. It's gonna happen, and all these things that we're dependent upon and everybody's using because there's enough idiots out there that are gonna be like, oh really? Okay, let me just fix it right now. Because they're not,
I'm always trying to get into my Steam
happened.
account and my my Twitter, and I had to change my password. I was like, God damn, motherfuckers, really?
Even Riot Games just had a huge thing with League and all that, where I had to go. Everybody that was on the server had to change not only their password, they had to change their username on it too because they had gotten hacked so bad. Like I get changing a password, but if you're hacked bad enough where you got to make somebody change their username too, that's intense.
Well, Kim, just today you texted me and said, "Hey, did you open a new Instagram?"
Exactly.
Just today.
Just today. Anthony, yes, there is an Anthony like dot something Lewis or something. It's his name, but it's got a period in some weird.
Right. And they
spot.
took my picture.
They have his picture and everything.
You know what?
Yeah.
Dub,
bruh.
You've hit the pinnacle. You're officially famous.
You're famous.
That's what
made it. Like today, and the worst part was because I went and looked at it, and like 44 people are already following this guy or girl or whatever, and it's terrible because people like hold on, I have a message from them because they even messaged me.
Yeah.
They start saying, "Hi, how are you?"
Something like that, yeah. Like, hey, how you doing?
No, they're trying to push like a scam. They're trying to push some grant type thing.
Look, it's right. Hold on, let me see if it'll do it.
Yeah,
right here. You can't see it, but he literally texted me like, "Hey, hello, how are you doing?" And it's Anthony with a period between the O and the N, and Anthony L. Lewis. He has the same picture with his grandma.
Yeah.
Like.
Is that count still active, or did you get it?
It's still active right now. I reported
it right now.
I reported it too.
It's got 9 followers and it's following 42 people. I don't see any Big Mike is following. You might want to get on.
Yeah, I got. He called me up today too.
He's still following him. So.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, I don't know who. That's the only name I like.
So today I inboxed him. I was like, "Hey, I like your picture." I was like, "It looks familiar." I was like, "Nice name too," and then I reported him. But
you said it's Anthony, but he didn't respond. The O and the N.
Yeah.
He didn't respond.
ANTHO.NYLLEWIS.
First of all, on Instagram, my thing is a now your mama knows. So that's
Kim, forward it to me.
Hold on, let me just screenshot it and put it in the damn chat.
No griefing, Gene.
But yeah, that's crazy. That's a long.
No, you can grief the heck out of this. Hey, Mercy. Again.
I found it. I think I found it, but it almost got a different picture. Some dude sitting on a motorcycle.
No, I found the exact one she's talking about.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hello. Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
What's up, Frank?
What's up?
I know you guys are having fun fishing for a fake Anthony profile, and we got really sidetracked. But I'm pretty sure we were on the topic about what we think was going to happen with the COVID-19 and going back to work and stuff. Can we please try to refocus on that?
You right.
Well, we were talking about hacking, and that was along the lines of hacking.
No, y'all just went completely off cuff with it. Y'all just went on.
I think it was along the topic.
No.
It started off on the topic. It started there, but then it got off.
Like, the topic is stuff that got to do with COVID-19. It's cool we deviate a little bit, but can we try to, stay within the realms for a certain amount of time instead of going off for 15, 20 minutes on absolutely nothing?
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
So jump in there.
Kind of rate it. Like, it's cool, the little jokes. We come in, we all do it, but let's kind of rein it back in, like where we going, because y'all take off and then y'all just gone with it.
No, you're right. You're right.
And I'm sure there's people that will watch this and be like, yo, what the fuck are they talking about? I thought this was about COVID-19.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
All right, so jump into the next thing.
But I did have something to say where I was saying I didn't agree as far as with what was going to happen. I think that when people start going back to work, I think we're going to have a boom in the economy. And the only reason why I say that is I was looking on, there's an app, Robinhood, where you do the stocks and stuff like that.
Right.
And I looked at it, but I haven't been trading on it. And I watched all the stocks plummet, like everything plummeted, like everything, except for stuff like Netflix, Verizon, everything that had to do with like networking and internet and streaming and stuff. All that stuff went up, but everything else plummeted. But then I started watching, as soon as they started talking on the news about, opening up the states and stuff again, and things go back, some of those stocks are starting to jump. I know in my industry, I don't know about other industries, but in my industry with distribution, transportation, and construction and stuff, we're going to be fucked when everything opens back up. We're going to get murdered. They're already working out a plan to bring in like more temps than the actual people that work in the building for like the first 3 months. So we already see there's going to be a boom in my industry. I think a lot of industries are going to see that. And I actually think the economy is going to bounce back. I think you're going to see a lot of houses are going to start selling because people are going to want to start moving to places they want to live while the market's low, which then is going to make that market jump. You're going to see the auto industry is going to skyrocket, I think, because people are going to start saying, well, shit, I haven't been able to do anything. I haven't been able to go anywhere.
Oh,
this
absolutely.
is going on. I have my chance to do this. You're going to see that. I think the airlines are going to really benefit from it because people are,
people are going to start traveling
stressed
again.
out, locked at home, can't go anywhere. Yo, imagine how many people bought tickets and stuff right now to fly somewhere and they're going to use it later. But then when they have to get that return flight ticket, the price of that ticket, you know what I'm saying? So
$95 go to Georgia, $99 come back.
Right now, because I have like a quote unquote credit with it because I did one of those Southwest fly your way whenever you want to things. And when you get it, you can change it and you can cancel it. But the problem is you don't get your money back. You get a credit. So you can go for a different flight. So right now I have 2 actually sitting in there because I was supposed to go to Georgia for a wedding during this. And I was supposed to go to Jersey in June because that was my whole plan was to come back home for my birthday. So I have
still do that.
I might, but I don't know because if it's right at the end of it, I'm still going to let it cool off a little bit before I travel because I personally have, I have a bad immune system. I have diabetes. I have high blood pressure. I have too many things that factor in that I'm not ready to go out there and travel and
take a chance. Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to stay in for a little bit.
How long do you think it's going to take stuff to bounce back? That's the question. Like, because some people are like, oh, it's going to take me so long to go to the movies, this and that. So I wonder how long it's going to take for us to really start seeing the economy making a comeback.
Listen, man, as soon as we get to all clear, nobody's going to be home.
See, here's
But
the thing.
that depends on how long it
depends-
takes to get the all clear.
That all depends on your definition of normal, because we're reaching a new normal, but there will be no such thing as 100% normal or quote unquote bounce back until there's at the very least a treatment, if not a vaccine. Like, I'll be honest with you. I'd rather be working. Sure, I'm getting paid, but I'd rather be driving my bus, seeing my kids, seeing my parents. I enjoy my job. I like what I do. I'd also like to be DJing. Every Saturday, I was at Bury the Hatchet, spinning, making people dance while they throwing axes and drinking. I know, it sounds dangerous, but it was fun. I'd like to be back doing my thing. So I'm of the opinion of I want to work. The people out protesting, I think they're stupid to be out protesting, but I understand their mindset. I get it. So all I need is a treatment. I don't even need a vaccine. Give me something where I can say, shit, I got COVID, pop 2 of these, take it for 10 days, and I can keep it pushing. But we won't see any version of normal until, like, that's a thing. In my opinion.
Cool.
They've started human trials on stuff right now. That's
I was
the
gonna
thing
say-
I'm aware of. They have started human trials on stuff, but the studies and stuff won't be ready till, like, I think they said March of 2021. So you're not going to see anything until next year.
Yeah, exactly. Like a year from now.
Nothing really reliable that won't kill people and have the potential to kill people. There'll be stuff that's rushed to market, and then all of a sudden they found out you're going to grow a third leg, you're going to have a second arm, and you're going to die in 2 weeks.
If you had this, if you took this drug, you may be entitled to a payment sum. But no, I cannot begin to describe how. Yeah, I cannot begin to describe how much I am dreading when we open up our lobby back up and everyone starts coming inside, because we're going to get so swamped at work that it's going to be ridiculous, especially as the summer hits. And I remember how I almost had a heat stroke that one year, and I had to stand in the freezer for 10 minutes because
it's going to come in waves. I think certain industries are going to get hit hard first, and then it's slowly going to start pushing out until eventually, at some point, we reach whatever our new is. You know, it's going to start.
I'm talking about my job.
But that's only assuming we don't relapse and have a second major outbreak.
I'm talking about whenever this is over, and I'm talking about at the end of all of this, whether it hits 2, 3, 4 rounds of it, whatever. Whenever it's finally at an end.
And medically, John, what do you think about that whole thing?
You gotta wait till you come back.
I'm here. I can hear you. I got my earbuds in.
Yeah, we were like.
I know when my job opens up, right? I might be at work 7 days a week.
Well, yeah, because people are going to be traveling. People are going to want to travel. Like, this is how I feel about it. As Americans, it's just ingrained in us that when we win, we party. When we finally get over this corona thing, when they finally say we can go outside, we can do what we want, we're going to look at it as a win. We won. And when we win, we party. So I'm hoping as a DJ that when people are happy because you won,
are going to get in business.
They won a party because I won a party. Listen, I know that's for sure.
I just real quick want to say something real quick. Justin saying winning. Just so y'all know, I made this statement that before April is over, that we'll be good. Things be back to normal. All I'm saying is Georgia and South Carolina open things up. So technically, I'm not wrong.
They're not.
No. I will come to you.
They are far from normal.
Hey,
they are far from normal.
Saw girls walking down the street in bikinis.
That's not normal.
That doesn't mean that's normal. It doesn't mean it's smart. It just means that the people who are in charge are extroverts who couldn't handle being around other people more than they have been without being able to go outside and show off somehow.
Okay. Either way, they opened a movie theater. What else you said they opened?
They didn't open a movie theater.
They are supposed to open. And guess what? The number of cases has gone up in the course of 4 days.
God
listen. Hold up. What did they open? Let's just put that out there.
Hair salons.
They opened up barbershops, hair salons, nail salons. That whole industry. They're supposed to open up movie theaters and a couple of restaurants on Monday. But now they're talking. No. See, you're saying, "Oh, look, that's good," but here's the thing: in the old 4 days, it's only been.
What I said.
Also, hello, Mark.
I just said.
It's only been 4 days, and there's already been more than 200 confirmed new cases.
That's not my point. I just said that
let me give you your rebuttal.
A while ago, I said that I feel like things will go back to normal
by April.
Before April is over.
All right, here's my rebuttal to that.
That's still not normal, though.
That's not normal. That's rushed.
Go ahead, Franco. Go ahead, Franco.
Here's my rebuttal to that, Anthony, because you have this thing where you just got to be right? So you said by the end of April, you think things are going to go back to normal. So 2 states have opened up nail salons and a couple things like that. Meanwhile, the other 50 plus states, including territories, are still 99% shut down, including government buildings, including schools, including daycares, including restaurants, including movie theaters, including car dealerships. Hospitals are still turning away people if it's not based on COVID-19. So if you think this is back to normal, bruh, you've been living in a fucking alternate reality. They can open up every movie theater in every state, and we still not going to be back to normal. My guesstimate, we're not going to be on our way back to normal for at least the next 90 days. And that's saying on the way back to normal, because we're going to go back with all kind of precautions. Things like masks got to be worn, limited times. We got curfew still going on. Like all kinds of stuff, bro. Like, it's 5 years. It's one of those ones you didn't win, man. You didn't win.
And my second to that, my quick second to what Franco said is April 30th, Anthony, where are you going to be sitting at? Where's your normal going to be at on April 30th?
I don't know.
You're still be sitting at home because Murphy already extended jerseys to at least May 15th. Therefore, by your own logic, you are incorrect.
Listen,
because you'll be sitting at home.
Hear me out. Here's my loophole.
There's no loophole.
Here's the thing. I said it. You didn't. So don't put words in my mouth because it was a blanket statement. Because I said things will go back to normal. Listen, where True live at is getting back to normal.
No, it's not.
True can tell you that.
Again, I live here, and I'm telling you, it's premature. It's literally a decision made by all the people.
They're still opening back. They opening stuff back up. It's good enough for me.
Wait, can you go to the store and find toilet paper right now?
No.
Okay, that's not normal.
That's not normal.
That's not normal.
What exactly are they opening up? They're opening up places that, and this is a little bit off the topic, but we as a people, and when I say people, I mean minority, we have to be aware of these things.
Yeah.
Who's the ones that are talking about getting their hair cut? Who's the one talking about getting their nails done? Who's the one trying to do this? Who's the one trying to do that? The only ones that really want to do that is you and I, the black people. We're the ones talking about going to get the nails done.
No, white people aren't talking about that shit.
Get my hair did. No, but they are, because even in the ER, we see all types of people, and they're talking about that, and they're like, I run across white people and run across black people, and they're all like, oh, the vast majority of white people, and I've seen some good-looking white ladies come in there. They're like, fuck that. I am not going to no salon. Most I'll do is have somebody come over and do my hair.
Becky don't got good hair right now. It's all that matters.
Listen, and thanks. I want to say something real quick. And you didn't. I'm gonna quote you exactly real quick, Anthony, because you said I think the virus will be over before April ends.
That's not what I said.
I have it pulled up right here, and I will show you the screenshot.
Show me the screenshot.
Anyway.
Yes, please finish.
No screenshot? Oh.
Screenshot right there.
They're so caught up in being right and caught up in this stuff, they don't realize how they're opening this stuff up because they're trying to appease the economy. They're trying to appease people that will make money, and in the process, destroying minorities. Because we're the ones that are so susceptible to this virus. If you look at all the people that are infected, the vast majority of them, more than 50%, are minority.
Wait.
contact. What's an easy way to get it? You're going to these places.
Getting your hair done, getting the massage, getting whatever the fuck else are opening up. All the shit that requires way less than 6 feet of distance.
Okay, I need. This is for Franco. One of my viewers wants to know why we're treating Anthony like Skip Bayless, and the answer is because this is why.
Because Anthony is our Skip Bayless. Anthony is the guy who cannot be wrong, has to be right.
I could be wrong.
I'm making my personal mission in life for almost 40 years that we've known each other to be his foil. I am going to counter his ass at every turn.
Listen.
I love him to death, but I want to choke the shit out of him sometimes.
Listen, you know what? Because people don't like the truth. So when I say stuff, people don't like to hear it.
There's no truth.
Bro.
I've learned that
I'm
if you
all
want
about
to
the
try to
truth.
dissuade Anthony, you got to come at him with facts. That's why I took the screenshot.
Exactly. Anthony swears he will never be wrong.
No, I don't know.
Use every loophole, every back door.
No, I don't mind being wrong. If you could get me, if you could prove I'm wrong, then I'm cool with it. But if I could make a blanket statement and you made a just opinion, we going back and forth. But until you say fact,
what Anthony's saying is, if you can't prove he wrong, even though he know he wrong, he right.
I mean, I'm not saying that.
So then, what are 200 new confirmed cases?
I put it to you like this, right?
Hey, I put it up in a stream. There it is, right there in black and white.
I can't
told
see
you.
that.
I can see it.
I said
Bring it back up again. Bring it back up. I think the virus will be over before April ends. Remember, I said that. Quote unquote.
You're welcome.
And I also said,
Say it, Anthony. Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
all right, I'm gonna say it, okay?
Say it with your chest.
I'm gonna say it with my chest.
Put that chest out.
Wait for it. He gonna do it again.
Oh, look at the top of the hair.
This is what I'm gonna say. April ain't over yet. So April's over, all right? You know what? But as a
Anthony, let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, ask me a question.
Come Friday, are you gonna honor that $100 bet?
Listen, what?
Hold on, we got
There's money on it.
Wait, money now? Hold on.
Hey.
No, here's the thing. If Friday, so here's the thing.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Hell no, I ain't betting nobody $100. But
no, never mind.
Still,
we're gonna pretend we didn't have a conversation.
You and me did not have
back that mic up from your mouth. Thank you.
You better screenshot that.
I wanted to go back and piggyback off of something that BB said.
Yeah.
With everything opening back up and how the minorities have been largely affected by it. Just want to put something out there and see if y'all can kind of understand this. So I think he's right, one, that as a whole, minorities, not just black people, but minorities are going to be affected largely by this. And I actually saw a meme that was basically saying, listen, my brothers and sisters, don't be fooled by the scam. They opening everything back up to get you to go out there, spend your money, and then re-expose you to everything. Killing two birds with one stone.
Facts.
Basically saying, we're going to get that money back that we gave you as a stimulus, because you're going to run out and spend it on dumb shit like getting your nails done, getting your hair done, buying some new clothes to go nowhere. But then you're going to get reinfected, or you're going to get infected, and some of you are going to die. The other thing I wanted to point out, and you can Google this, I want to say it was like 7 years ago. Barack Obama was giving one of his talks, his speeches, whatever, and he actually was talking about, during the process of trying to get Obamacare through, one of his selling points to getting it through, he literally said, if we look at the track record and we look at history, what's going on with us being a global civilization now, right? Like, we're still different governments in different countries and stuff, but we're a global civilization. He was like, at some point, maybe in the next 5 years, he said, maybe in the next 10 years, we are going to experience another situation, some type of virus that could possibly be airborne, blood transfusion, something like that. We're going to experience that, and we need to be prepared. He said right now, there's a huge amount of people that do not have any health care. We need to get everybody some type of health care, health coverage, so that we can be prepared for this when it comes. So people will actually be willing to go out and get tested, get treated, get, seen for this different stuff. That was one of his driving points, just to get Obamacare across. And if you take that and you take what BB said about like everybody running back out there, if you really think about it, and this is kind of going to sound like some conspiracy shit, this definitely is one of those situations where it's like it's setting up minorities for failure. Because one thing about minorities, and I'm talking about all the minorities, we're social as hell.
True.
The first thing we're going to do, like Justin say, Americans like to party when they win. But if you break it down a little deeper, soon as they say, yo, y'all go back outside, ain't no more disease. All the black people going to have a big ass block party. Example, when they decided to have fuck coronavirus parties.
Yep.
And we're getting breaking up 60, 70, 80, hundreds of people who didn't believe the shit was real. And then flash forward a couple weeks, them motherfuckers started testing positive for it. Or when they were saying, hey, not to go against anybody's religion or faith, you had the one preacher who was like, I don't care what the government's saying. I serve a higher God. I'm still having church. Mind you, in the Bible, it says you're supposed to obey the government that you live in.
Yep.
But that being said,
obey the laws of man.
Right.
Laws
this
of the
dude
land.
kept having church, and they kept closing the church down there. All his congregation was sorry. They kept closing. He fucking died from complications from COVID-19 like 3 weeks ago. So, again, unfortunately, it was a black church. I think it was a Baptist church. I think when this starts to get back to the norm, as we say, we need to be real mindful because our new norm should be social distancing. We shouldn't be grouping up and all up on top of each other right after this whole thing.
Absolutely
passes.
not. 100% agree with you.
We should take this as a learning thing because what I feel like happens, no civilization lasts forever, right? None. You can look back. Roman Empire, no empire lasts forever. Romans, Aztecs, Greeks, any empire you can look at, the Byzantine, all of them, they all have a heyday and then they all fall. And they usually fall from a couple things. One is war, one is overpopulation, and one is some type of famine or disease. Right? So as a global civilization right now, we're very advanced technologically, you know what I mean? So we're either going to fall to war, right? Overpopulation or disease. So no matter how technologically you advance you're going to get, we're going to fall to one of those things. Might not be in our lifetime, might be 1,000 lifetimes from now. But I think COVID-19, like if we call it by the right name instead of the Cardi B screaming coronavirus, I hate the fact that she did that dumb shit and everybody took it as a joke and it's like a meme. But call it what it is. It's COVID-19 is in a family of coronavirus. This shit might just be the tip of the iceberg.
Facts.
Because people are so desperate to get back out and run that they don't realize, hold on, where my little notebook at? And I pass it on to somebody else. Me looking around and I wrote this down like, holy shit. And B, you might be able to corroborate it for me. They figured out with the COVID-19, there's not one strain of it that they've noticed so far. There's like two. And they're calling one of them...
There's four now?
Now they're up to 4 now, right? Okay. Yep. So the first one was the S type, which they think is the first one, which it communicated from an animal to a person, and it evolved, right? It mutated. That's the word. It mutated. They think it was an animal-born coronavirus that mutated when somebody somehow came in contact, ingested. Everybody saying ate a bat or whatever, ingested it, but they started noticing that more people that they were diagnosing with it were getting diagnosed with the second type, which was the L type. And then you're saying now it's 4, they're up to 4 now, right? That they think is going around. So as it's passing from these different groups of people, over time it's going to mutate. So we might be done with COVID-19 and then we might be like next year, like, yo, COVID-19, we beat it. We might be on COVID-20. You know what I mean? It'd be the virus for 2020 or some shit like that. Being that it started in 2019, 2020, we got a new one.
Yeah.
So the logical thing would be all right, it's past, we can go back out, but I'll go hang out with you guys in a group, but am I going to go sit in a fucking crowded room with 150 people? I don't know who they are, all up on top of me. I'm like, you know what?
Absolutely not.
I'm going to go sit at this bar table over here, the table nobody wants to sit at because it's away from everything. I'll play the background. You know what I mean? Like, we got to really be conscious with that. And even like Anthony said, when they open up the movie theaters, he's going to run right out to the movies, which, you know what? He should not be able to. What I would hope is that if he did do it, though, he would be more health-minded about doing it. Pick seats away from people, you know, make sure he washes his hands, you know, cover his mouth. I'll be honest with you, if I was to go to the movies, if they open up right now and I went to the movies, I'm wearing a face mask at the movies.
Fact.
Right. And that's what I said earlier. We just got, long story short, we got to be precautious. Like,
yeah, we lost John. I think he's coming back.
It's on
So I just wanted to put that out there. Like, it's a lot of factors, but we need to be smart, man. That $1,200 shouldn't be making or breaking nobody, and shouldn't be the reason you run out there and put your health at risk because you just got to spend it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you, Franco. And actually, I just read a report yesterday that confirmed that most of the places that are quote unquote open thanks to the governor are places that still haven't properly been disinfected since the initial outbreak.
Wow.
So you got all these people. So you got all these people going to places that weren't even disinfected from the initial outbreak, most likely being recontaminated because it was in somebody's bottle or something somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can't even visit grandma and stuff like that right now, and it's like it's keeping families apart. It's keeping everything apart.
I haven't since outbreak. I haven't been to Ewing, Trenton. My mom, my sister. I haven't seen any of my friends physically since this went down.
Bro, what?
It's you know what? I'm gonna put something out there that's been affecting me personally. It's brought to my attention that I feel like I probably suffer from some form of clinical depression. And obviously I'm not a fan of it. And it's something I feel like I've always had in the background, but it never felt this severe. You know?
No.
Like I feel like
no,
I'm
just
at
talking
a
about that
point,
topic last week.
I feel like I started talking to people about it. I feel like I'm at a point now where I have to talk to people about it because if I don't talk to people about it, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't been diagnosed, and I'm no specialist, doctor, expert, whatever. And maybe once all this is said and done, I might talk to somebody. But for people who already have a hard time when it's normal, like who suffer from like anxiety or whatnot, when things are normal, I can't even begin to imagine what it's like for someone like that when you live in your own personal isolation to then be in real physical isolation.
Forced isolation,
I am diagnosed on medication for depression. I am diagnosed on medication for anxiety. I have anxiety attacks and I have panic stress. I am an introvert by trade now. I don't even like going around like outside breaking people. The isolation is driving me fucking, and I don't even like going around people. Like it just feels like I'm already bad enough where I want to be alone, but then I'm like I have to be alone now. There's no choice for it, and it's like every day it just feels like to me. This is just me. I don't know how anybody else feels. I can't speak for anybody else. But my box, and I've been in my box, and I'm cool in my box, and I don't mind sticking my head out of my box every now and then. You know, hey, how you doing? I'm gonna come back. But now my box is getting smaller and smaller, and it's to the point where I feel like I'm personally getting constricted, and I don't have like my exit strategy. Like everybody has their own little mental exit strategy, what they go and do when they're having bad days, whatever. You do what you do to handle it. My exit strategy is gone. Like my exit strategy when I was dealing with stuff would take walks, go out, walk around the mall. I would never buy anything, just go out and walk, do something in my own head. I can't leave this space right now. I'm stuck in this space. I can't go do anything that used to calm me down the way it would. And that's why you've seen, I don't know, anybody who hasn't really been around, I've been streaming more now than I was before because I'm now craving just talking to somebody else to kind of feel like it's okay. Other people are going through this. We're going to make it. We're going to be okay eventually. And I have my moments of doubt and I try to be somewhat of a light in the sense where I know other people are feeling this way too. So I try to be like, hey, it's going to be okay. I know you're not feeling your best today, but tomorrow we'll get better. We're eventually going to get out of this. You know, I think mental health is going to be a big thing, especially right now. People are starting to hit that big mental health block from being stuck inside for so long. And that's why they're pushing so hard to have the ability to leave their house. Because when you're stuck isolated by yourself or with whoever lives in your family, you have nothing else to do but self-analyze, really. You start looking at things that you didn't have the chance to before. Like you start realizing, just like Anthony says, he started doing stuff around the house, that he wouldn't when got a lawnmower. Well, okay, all the housework is done, so now what's left to do? You sit there and you start thinking about, hey, you know what? Learn to cook would be a lovely thing, but if you're like me, you already know how to cook. So you sit here and you sit back, what can I do? My sister started sewing. She
I got a wife. Let her do her job.
Anthony, I will come through this screen.
Wow.
But I get what you're
saying. He just trying to start some shit.
But you know what I mean? Like,
I want to touch on that. But
wait. Before you say something, the views of Anthony L. Lewis are not necessarily the views of the
Yeah, Jay, we need you to set up a disclaimer.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Jay, we need you to set up a
views of Anthony L. Lewis are the views of Anthony L. Lewis sometimes.
And come see me on YouTube and now your mama knows.
I don't think my mom wants to know that.
No.
All right, can we get back into it real quick?
But like really, people are starting to self-analyze and even like they're realizing, hey, I never realized how dirty this window over here was. Let me go clean that up real quick. Or I've never been in my, I haven't been in my backyard for God only knows how long. I never realized that, the dogs have dug a big old hole over here and there's no grass anymore. And when you're noticing this physical stuff around you, you're also noticing, the not so much faults, but like everybody has issues, everybody has problems. And when you're in a time like this, you have way more time to mentally focus on that thing. And when that kind of thing happens is when mental health issues are brought to the surface. And like you said, your depression, quote unquote, feels worse because you're having more time to focus on it and you're stuck in your head.
Right.
And that's like me all the time. I'm stuck in my freaking head. I have self-deprecating anxiety. I literally will sit here and be like, hey, you haven't talked to me in 2 days. I wonder what I did wrong to make you not want to pick up your phone and text me. It's not what you did wrong or you got busy at work or, you did this. It's what I did. And that's the way my head works.
Right.
And I've come to notice that. So it's a lot easier for me to realize it when I'm getting my function stuff to pull it out. But there's a lot of people like Justin. He's not diagnosed. He's just realizing and coming to terms with the fact that, hey, I might have, some depression or I might have this. There's a lot of people who are like that and there's this big stigma a lot with mental illness too. Because back in the day, everybody was just crazy. There was no different things. You were crazy. You had issues, whatever. You was touched by Jesus. We had a whole bunch of different names for it back in the day. Yeah, like everybody had different things they called it.
Can I add something to that, Kim?
Yeah,
I think Mike's dying to say something.
So fuck what I gotta say, right?
Go ahead, Gene. Go ahead, Gene. Gene, then Mike. Go ahead.
Nah, I'm good. You cut me off already.
Not speak. You have something to say. Please say it.
All right, we were talking about depression last week, right? Me and you, right, Justin?
Yeah.
Now you remember the YouTube I used to follow? C-Cash. He was a mad depression / bipolar.
If you don't know, there's a YouTube channel called Talking Kitty. It's a great channel. It's hilarious. And all right, go on, Eugene.
We were talking about depression last week, right? And you remember back in the day, right? You just saying when I commit suicide was weak and selfish. Now I'm starting to like kind of relax. I'm starting to think differently about that now because you don't know what that man was going through internally. You don't know if he was able to get help or not. You don't know if anything could help him or not. And the only way he could see out of it was to eat a bullet. Do you still feel the same way now about suicide?
I do.
Yes and no. Do I still think it's selfish? Yes.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you are only thinking about yourself and what you're going through, not what you will do to those who truly do love you and who would be more than willing to help you if you were to go to them. But Do I feel as hard about it as I used to? No, because I know anxiety and depression exists, and these conditions put people in a mindset that can make it difficult to think outside of themselves.
Their emotions take over their better judgment at the
Right.
time. They're thinking in the moment.
I have a similar feeling to Justin. I think it's one of the most selfish things you can ever do. But I also understand being in that mental state and having that mindset because I've been there. Obviously, I never went through with it because I'm still here, but I've been in that mental health state. I know how easy it is for you to get lost in your head and emotions and not even think about anybody else or what else would, because you honestly believe that everybody else around you would be so much better without you there. And it's hard for you to reach out and ask for help. And that's another thing, like as a friend, I try to keep my eyes open for certain signs, knowing how it did to me and knowing how I was acting because I've been through it. So I know what it kind of looks like. So when I see somebody acting a little off and I know that they aren't having their best day, I make sure to be like, hey, you doing okay today? Do you need a hug? I would hug you for real if I could. Do you need to talk? I'm always here to talk if you need to talk. And I try to push that.
And we appreciate that.
So for me,
go ahead, Frank.
I just want to chime in on that one. So again, this is gonna be one of those moments. It's kind of like a disclaimer. This is my opinion. This ain't the opinion of nobody else in this group. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna stand on that shit. I do feel strongly that anybody who takes their own life is selfish and weak. And that's not taking anything away from mental health, because I understand that people have like mental health issues and they deal with stuff differently, or they might not have the tools they need to deal with it, right? And each person is going to make their own decision consciously, whatever. My opinion of it, though, and I keep saying my opinion so people understand it's my opinion. I got small kids, you know what I mean? I got older kids and I got small kids. I got a mother and I got a grandmother that's still here on earth, that raised me from birth and care about my well-being. And I would be a selfish piece of shit, no matter what I was going through, to take my own life, because I know what it was like to lose somebody that I loved more than anything else when my sister passed away. I dealt with that shit for years. I was 12 and I carried that shit for years in the back of my mind. And to this day, I can remember what that pain felt like. And even in my darkest times, and I've been through some shit where I felt like, wasn't no coming back from. And I just think back, like, if my sister had the option, she wouldn't have let herself die because she knew I would have made my mom feel. So I think, like, when you get to that point, if you really pull that trigger, it takes more strength not to end it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It takes more strength.
It really do.
And it's a little hard to really articulate it. It's a slippery slope. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's got opinions on it, and there's no right or no wrong opinion on this subject. Like, some people might really sympathize with people who commit suicide. And it's not that I don't feel sympathy for them. I think my sympathy goes to their family and their loved ones. It doesn't go to them. I actually feel like, not hatred, but like kind of like
why?
Being pissed off at them.
Yeah, like why did you do that? Like why?
You didn't think about your fucking kid? You didn't think about your moms who carried you? You didn't think about your friends?
Yeah, that's where my mind goes.
Yeah.
Because you make connections. You might not realize the connections you make with people and how it would affect them. Like, I had a friend that I met playing Destiny. His name was Todd. Never met him in person. Me and him played Destiny 1 every single day together once we met. Even when I was playing with y'all and raiding with y'all and stuff, me and him played every single day. We started talking about getting together and meeting up at a central place like in Philly. I think we were going to meet in Philly because some of y'all know Corey from Destiny. And Corey was close, and we were all going to meet. And Todd died. He didn't commit suicide, but he died from he relapsed and died from like an accidental overdose. And that shit hit me hard You know what I mean? And when it first came out, people were kind of hinting like he committed suicide. I got mad because I was just like, damn, bro, like you didn't realize how that would affect us that's still here. And excuse me for a second. Then I found out that it was an accident. And that shit hurt. Like I care about that dude like I care about y'all, and I never met him.
Right.
So just imagine when you take your own life, who you actually affecting. You might only think about like your immediate friends or the family that you mad at that moment. Like they don't care about me. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure if Anthony picked up his phone tomorrow and read like, "Yo, Franco committed suicide," pretty sure Anthony be fucked up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I've known Anthony for like almost 40 years.
Oh
I'm
God.
pretty sure he'd be fucked up, and I would be fucked up. That'd be like losing my heart. If I heard that about any one of y'all, you know what I mean? I would be fucked up. So like for me, like I said, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna stand on that shit. Like anybody who take their own life, like it gotta be some shit like, yo, I'm dying from fucking cancer, it's terminal, ain't no coming back. But if I kill myself right now, the organs I have left are good enough to save my kid. All right, I don't respect you on that shit. But if you just doing it because I can't take it no more, this pain is too much. I'm so stressed out and it's I'm so lost. Like, bro, pick up the phone, turn to somebody.
Like,
Tell
actually,
some.
while we on that note, Frank, I agree with you in the sense that a few years ago, I lost my homegirl. Like, we grew up together from the crib. I love this girl. I loved her. Like, I for real loved her. And I was gone at college, maybe for the first time. Came home that summer, and they was like, "Yeah, she found a bottle of aspirin." Talked to this girl every day. Hit her up every other week. Tried to hang out anytime we was home. So I get what you're saying. I'm one of those people who's left behind just asking why. And I end up hitting Kim's note of what didn't I do that made you feel like that was your only way out. So I agree with both of them. It's more so it's selfish because you're not taking other people into consideration. It's painful because the people left behind feel like you felt you had no other option and you couldn't tell anybody. And it's frustrating all at the same time because once you're gone, no one knows why.
Right.
You took that secret to the grave.
Man, I'm gonna be 100% honest, and I make no secret. Y'all guys saved me because y'all, going through what I went through, and all of y'all in the chat, save Kim, know my life story, and Jade Empire, Destiny, that was my outlet. I can't from D1. Man, the one person that I think that should have been in this chat, especially for this, and unfortunately he can't be, was Bob.
Yep.
Word up.
King Bob the Eternal.
I can't tell you how many nights
Good God.
when shit just got hard, and between Bob and Franco being on, and Mike, all you guys jumping on in the middle of the night, it it stops you from doing something that you regret, and to build off of what Franco was saying, you sit there, and I can tell you from experience, there's times I sat there and I thought, I can't do that to my kids, man. I can't. I can't do that to my kids. They've been through enough. And getting back to the COVID stuff, I told Franco, and I told I think a bunch of you, I had to have a real sit down, heart to heart conversation with them, because of what I do, and the direct possibility that one day I might not come home. You know, that's the reality of the world we live in right now. And it, and my boys, y'all all know them. They loud as hell. all the time, and they had nothing to say. Dead silence. I mean, even big old Ben, the boy just had to avert his eyes and keep himself away because he couldn't say anything. And that's what people aren't paying attention to. That's not what they're looking at. You know, they become so self-absorbed and entitled that I should have this and I should have that and I should be able to do this. It's my body, it's this, that, and the other. You ain't thinking about nobody else. You ain't thinking about nobody else. If you put it into perspective for people, they're so quick to reopen and redo this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go do that. You think about those 50 something thousand people that died alone. They died alone. Some of them never waking up, some of them suffering, suffocating because they can't breathe, suffocating alone. The last thing they got to look at was somebody dressed up in all this garb to protect themselves from them. And now your loved one is sitting there in a cooler someplace else because the funeral homes don't want to come pick up the body.
Yep.
They literally don't want to come pick up the bodies. So hospitals have trailers, and it's no secret. Everybody sees them. They got trailers full of bodies because there's no place to put them. And I think that although the media touches on it, they need to emphasize that stuff because that's the reality of the danger of reopening everything.
Facts.
Putting stuff back, and you put people like me and all the other essential workers that are out there that no matter what happens, they open it back up and they shut shit right back down. Where we gonna be? We still gonna be at work.
Yeah.
And now instead of dealing with the possibility of 1/10 of the population of the United States being infected, now we got 50-60% of the population that's a possibility that they're infected.
Oh, that's such an insane number.
Yeah.
Just for reference, I looked up the population of the United States the other day, and it's like basically it's around 330 million people populate this country. So to even imagine 50% of that is mind numbing.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there was a news report talking about what you were talking about, B, except I forget which hospital had to send out like an email and phone call apologizing to a bunch of families because their load got so heavy they literally just had to cremate like a whole trailer of bodies.
Yeah, that's the reality. There's no burial, there's no funeral home, there's no cemetery that can handle that load. You think of how many have died in Jersey alone? Who has that many plots? You just don't have the capacity to deal with those bodies. You just don't. And I get
almost
that
6,000 BB, just so you know.
6,000 people.
Oh my God.
6,000. That's 6,000 burial plots that people would have had to be buried.
Well, as you
Now, in moving those bodies, a funeral home, I can own the best funeral home in the world. I don't care how many people it is. You died of corona, I'm not picking your ass up.
And you ain't got you ain't got 600 plots to do it either.
Well, as you guys
even if I did, it's not the risk is not worth it. It's just not worth the risk.
As you guys know, my daughter's mom passed away on April 1st.
Yeah.
And they had complications trying to get her funeral, so they had to cremate her.
Yep.
Wow.
And that's the thing.
I know that.
Because of all the possible options, that's the safest one that they can come to at the moment.
Yeah.
That's crazy because she didn't even pass away from COVID-19. She passed away from an accident.
Right.
And that's how tight it is right now.
Right.
They don't want to take any chances because they're probably looking at it like, oh, we know she passed from an accident, but
in a car with she was in a car with 3 people. Yeah, they can't, but you.
Yep. That's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that, Ed.
Yeah.
That's sad.
And that goes back to that depression. A lot of the healthcare workers, we joke about it. We jest about it. We share memes. We share this, that, and the other. That shit gets to you. it really, really, really gets to you.
It has to. I
And
can't imagine being in your shoes, John. Not at all.
No,
I don't
I
have the
couldn't. I
fortitude.
could, regardless of before a pandemic or not, I could not do it.
I was cool. I was cool. But what really it started to bother me. But then when my boy's mom came in, and it just so happened that I was in that area that
He's in
day,
an ER. He works there.
they mentioned her name. And I'm like, what? And I look and I'm like, what are you doing here?
Turn your TV down.
And she's talking to me, this, that, and the other, and having to tell him, you know, the worst news possible. He loves his mom, loves his mom. His mom is his world, you know. And I ain't pulling no punches. Y'all know me. I'll try to be nice about it, but I'm going to be real honest with you. And having to tell him that, man, it broke my heart. This the dude that, when all the nonsense is going down with me, no questions asked. Give me the shirt off his back. You need this, Jake? Go ahead. Here you go. You know, and it hit me so hard that I came home and I just sat here and cried my eyes out because it's like, yo, it's one thing to know see people
That
pass
killed your clinical
and know,
detachment. That
yeah,
killed your clinical detachment.
it completely killed it, killed it, because I'm like, yo, this shit is real. I mean, I always knew it was real, but there's always that one case where it just goes, boom, here you go.
It like solidified it completely. There's no way of denying it anyway.
Nope.
Everybody has that little bit of doubt in their head that it's not quite that bad until something like that is right in your face and you have no other choice but
It's
to
right in your
believe.
face, and it happens right there. And then from that one, like I kid you not, all of a sudden I found out all these people are just starting to pass, like people I know, and it's like, man, and
That's what I want to get in touch on also because listen to what Justin and Kim and everybody's saying.
that's not my fault.
I know how the mental health field runs.
I don't know what's
Everybody,
going on
this,
with Mikey.
Who's buzzing?
He has Mike.
That's probably like the baby.
It's probably
phone.
Mike.
That's what told Eugene to turn his TV down.
Mike's phone's over there making house beats and shit.
This COVID-19 takes a serious impact on people with mental health.
Sure enough.
People don't understand that how big of an impact it takes on them, and not just those with mental health, those that have to care for the ones that have mental health. You got people who are chemically imbalanced. That means they got to take medicine to make things right. There's
what's going on here? Everybody blacking out.
No, I think we lost Mike and Franco. We lost
Yeah.
Mike in the middle of him saying something too.
Damn.
Mike
we
was waiting.
Yeah,
Mike was waiting.
I think we lost Mike.
He get blanked out.
No, he's still
Yeah.
here. It's just blacked out. So is Franco's.
Hmm.
And John is frozen. Something is happening.
He was playing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You got me. I legit thought you was frozen, yo.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to bring a little levity to it because it started to get
real
serious.
serious.
We starting to get a little dark.
No, cause I got my own story from way back in the day that only Justin knows about.
Well, if
Oh,
you're
wait,
willing,
wait,
speak on it.
come
What's up?
back.
Yeah.
Mikey came back.
My laptop died. I had to plug it up.
So plugging it up while we was here was just wasn't an option.
Nah, I got a different cord. That one had a shortage. I ain't ever.
Well, go ahead and finish that.
Sorry about that game. My mama called.
Sorry.
There are people that are affected by chemicals. That means you got to take medicine to get right. Some people don't have that option because of most of your medication. You got to be seen. Most doctors don't want to see you. So you got some people that are not getting their medication refilled, and that's fucking up with their daily routine. You got people that got to get up at a certain time. They go out at a certain time. They come in at a certain time. They eat at a certain time. They do things a certain way, and the medication helps them. They're not getting that medicine. Them not being able to go outside affects them. And I mean, you got certain ones that have the biggest behaviors of all, and those are like the worst ones to deal with because you don't know how to really deal with them. The ones that got the borderline personalities. You don't really know how to deal with that. You can't really comprehend what most people go through on a daily basis. Like, yeah, you go to ER, get stitched up, you have a moment with somebody, boom. At the end of your shift, you're not seeing that person. In the mental health field, you see that person every day. You're that person's responsibility. They come to you. You come to them. It's a daily life. And to go in there and knowing that, okay, today's Tuesday. On Tuesday, John like to go out at 12 o'clock. 8 o'clock, John like to go to the movies. We used to go to the store. Boom, you can't do this stuff at 8 o'clock no more. You can't. So you got more behaviors. People don't know. You got kids that don't understand this. Kids don't understand it as it is, but you got kids with mental health that really don't understand this. And you got parents struggling, trying to find ways to help cope with it. Like when that mental health hits, it's like, yeah, it's not just hitting people at work. Because I can see when y'all saying y'all getting depressed when people come home from work, but you got parents that are dealing with depression, that has mental health, and have to deal with kids that having a hard time coping too. And I hate to say it like this, but I see suicide on the rise. And yet I could say suicide is not the easy way out.
But no, but it's the same. It's going to rise.
It's going to rise. I hate it. It's going to, because people don't know how to cope. Parents don't know how to cope. Kids don't know how to cope. The best benefit so far I can see about this is the kids that was getting bullied in school don't have to worry about that being in school. That's the plus side about this, I could say.
True, but
even like, not even just the actual like depressing part of it. Just a simple fact of 2 times now, this pandemic has affected my medication. The first time was I had to go to 3 different CVS's just to get one of my medicines because they couldn't get the truck in to get me the medicine that I need. The second time was I needed refills. My doctor, when you call my doctor, it says if you need refills, they will give you refills as long as you have an appointment booked, which they already had to move my appointment because they're not going to see anybody unless it's an emergency. So we moved it to May. Good. I have an appointment on the book. So when the pharmacy calls, they're supposed to get refills that I need. Pharmacy called, didn't get any refill. You call my doctor, it says if you need a refill, have your pharmacy call. So I literally spent 3 days going back and forth between pharmacy and doctor trying to get something. Wound up not having one of the medications for 2 days. Completely didn't have any. Now, any medicine that you're on, you're supposed to take as the doctor prescribes, no matter what, because there could be symptoms and side effects from you not taking it properly.
Right.
A lot of mental health medications need to build up in your system so they can maintain a level, so that you can maintain
a level,
right?
You have to have in your system.
So when you miss it for 2 days, your levels drop, and it takes not only those 2 days, but a couple more days for it to get back up to where it is. So I had a week last week where I was pretty bummed out, and you can ask Justin because I talked to him a lot during that week, where I was just like, man, no,
yeah, it's pretty
really
rough.
It was rough. Ask my stream. They weren't like, you could tell if you watched my stream, I was literally just sitting here.
Yeah, she was kind of just going through the motions.
I was literally going through the motions. And True watches me stream, so he knows. Jazzy saw it. All these people were coming up to me, and I was getting messages. Are you okay? I'm fine. Just had an issue with my medicine. I'll be good. You know, this weekend, I finally leveled back out, I guess, and I got back to my quote-unquote normal. But that kind of shit, like, imagine if I couldn't get my doctor. Like, what if they never called in my thing?
And that's what there are people like that that's not getting in touch with their doctors. There are people that can't see their doctors, and you going back and forth with the phone. Like, you got, of course, your pharmacy is going to say, I need a script from your doctor. I need your doctor to call. You calling the doctor telling you got to wait till this certain time to come in for an appointment. You know, usually you can just book an appointment, but they like, yo, if I schedule Monday, I can't schedule Monday because the people that had scheduled also, I can't cram y'all all in at once. So I got to take it back just so that way I have time to see everybody individually, because they're going to take you one at a time. And then once you leave, they're going to sanitize their office.
Exactly.
Let it air out for a while, and then bring the next person in. So you're not coming in like 5 people at a time. You know, you're coming in at 1 person per hour.
You lucky you're seeing 3 people a day.
You lucky.
Basically.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a glimpse into my emails for like since this has happened, because again, I teach special needs. That's literally all the emails I've been getting. what is my child's normal regimen when they're at the school? What do they normally do so I can keep their schedule maintained? Because in their mind, this is what they do at these times, and I don't know that. Do you have anyone I can talk to because he still has this medication at the school and I need it because we're out at the house? And do you know anyone we can talk to who may possibly be able to refill his prescription because this, that, and the other, because we need these meds and we're out, we can't get them anywhere else without this? Do you have a clinic you can refer us to? Do you have a service? Do you know how I can help calm my child down? Because at this time he likes doing this, that, and the other. He's used to playing basketball with you in the gym at this time. Is there another thing that you do with him that'll calm him down when you don't take him to the gym?
This is stuff that actually happens.
It's very sad, Jazzy.
Their routine is messed up, and that's why I was like, people are really being selfish about this whole situation. You're only thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about others, especially the ones in mental need. Do what you have to do so we can get this over with. If it's going to take a little longer, yeah, I understand that. But by y'all acting like assholes and going out and getting more affected, y'all making it last longer and longer.
Really? Like, this protesting needs to stop, you know.
It's not accomplishing anything. It really isn't. Except for making you look like the most selfish people on the planet right now. Because you want to go back to being able to sell somebody a house or cut somebody's hair. Look, those are things that right now, they're not priorities. Priorities are making sure you've got your medicine, you have food to eat, you have a shelter over your head, and if you need medical attention, you can get it. That should be the big part, you know.
The problem is, real quick before we move on, Eugene had a story. I want to hear his story.
All right, we were talking about depression, the whole thing, right? Now, Jess, you remember I met you right back in what, 95?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I was going through some deep shit. And
I remember at the time your mom was sick.
Yeah, there was a few times where I went to like say, fucking just cash out.
Right.
But once I met you and all them, right, those thoughts start to slowly turn around. And I latched on to everyone. But after we all parted ways.
Thank you for the alert, Kitty.
After we all parted ways, right, that the feelings poured right back as I walked home.
Wow.
Yeah, like,
and there was nobody for me to talk to about it. We didn't have cell phones back in the day. We didn't have a house phone, so I just had to sit in my room and just eat that shit till the next day.
Wow, I legit did not realize that.
Like, I had to go home every day, right, to my mom bedridden. She couldn't move. She couldn't do nothing. I had to wash her up, change her.
Thank you for the host,
give
Kitty.
her meds. Now, picture a 15, 16-year-old having to deal with that. How you think that made me feel at the time?
No, that's right.
Knowing my brain wasn't mentally developed to realize that taking myself out would be a selfish ass thing to do.
It makes me sad that I didn't know this when I first met you, because we could have bonded over that. Because I did the same thing with my mom from when I was like as old as I can remember, because she was bedridden. And like, we could have. I know it's bad to think, hey, I wish I would have known you went through hell, because we could have gone, talked about it, bonded over. But
it's not bad.
Now, Kim, remember you said you're an introvert, right? Yeah. So am I. Being an introvert also comes with trust issues.
Yeah, I know.
So when you go through some shit, you don't know who you can talk to about it, and your business not be put out in the streets. Facts.
I mean, there's stuff that, like, when I first met y'all saved me too. And I haven't even opened up about a lot of it to all of you. Like, Justin has known some of it because I'm starting to do with it. And I think Anthony might from me and stuff like this. I was going through hell back then when I first met y'all. There are reasons behind it. But you guys have saved a lot of people, this whole little group. Jade is like bigger than a lot of people want to meet. And like, you did. You say, like, literally, I met.
Think about it, we're born to rejects.
It's okay, but we can be rejects together. It's okay. Y'all have, like, seriously, when I met Justin and Anthony in line at Kathmandu, it was either on my birthday or real close to my birthday, and it was supposed to be going out for my 21st birthday, right? My girl that was supposed to come with me, stood me the fuck up in line. I was literally about to just go home and be like, fuck it, I'm gonna go home and cry. But nah, they're like, no. You're gonna come inside, you're gonna dance with us, we're gonna have a good time. They started playing songs, and the next thing you know, I was dancing and having a good old time. And then I slowly started meeting the rest of y'all, and history was made. There, I mean, come on now. Like,
I want to
Hey, Kill, remember Anderson Street when I ran and dove off the fucking
big
steps and
splash? Yes.
So here's the funny thing. Like, I know I listen. I got married at a super young age. I was 18, and I know a lot of times I come off like, man, I'm good, but y'all guys helped me out, man. When I was a young guy married, like young as hell in an apartment, and y'all all know my ex-wife. It was rough, and y'all coming over to my apartment every day. Like Eugene would say. So think about it, Gene. You would come to my house and you had fun, and when you left, you was depressed. Well, when you guys came to me, I was happy, and when y'all left, I was depressed because y'all was literally my outlet of pretty much living inside of hell. From me, being young
basically
and going through all what I was
never sees this.
It's funny though. As kids, we never talked about this with each other. We just,
didn't.
Because we all sat. That's a big thing. We all sat there and suffered in silence instead. And we've learned now as we've aged and we know more. We should have just opened our mouths.
And
well, see, it's hard though because growing up in Trenton, like you was supposed to be hard and tough. So
it's called man up.
Right.
That bullshit.
Yeah. But I just want to say I appreciate all of you guys. The Destiny days, man. So I'm right there with y'all.
I don't like it.
But
Shut up, Mike. You love us.
But you know what though? Them feelings I had right when I was 16 years old, they came back in full force in 09. And everybody know what happened in 09. My mom was found in her bedroom on the floor by my cousin. Get a phone call the afternoon telling me they think my mom passed. So I drive from West Trenton to South Trenton in literally 3 minutes. Get there. I knocked the cops over. I ran through the EMT. I ran upstairs. Looked at the floor. There she was. Gone. Nothing I can do about it. And I was no good nobody for I was no good for a long ass time over that shit.
Yeah.
Hell, Justin, my cousin, they had to drag me from the site after the funeral was over. And I refused to leave.
That was a hard day. That was a very hard day.
Tore me up.
And I wasn't there, but I guarantee it would have been harder without Justin and everybody there to help you. I guarantee.
And what pissed me off the most, right? The person who was supposed to be there in my corner thought that me grieving was me doing something to her. The fuck is wrong with you? Like my friends call me, right? Check on me and whatnot, right? Why your friends keep calling you? Don't they get sales bill? Like, bitch, my mom just died. This ain't about you right now. Like the fuck? Oh my god.
Well, you always knew how to pick a winner.
We don't want to. We're not. That's a whole nother podcast if we want to talk about picking winners. Okay, we're not gonna go there.
Bitch, that was a failure.
So y'all guys any what else y'all guys want to add to this?
We just hit the 3-hour mark, so
yeah,
I love bitches.
We're gonna
talk about a lot of content.
We're gonna talk about.
I've been up since like 5 a.m. and I'm starting to fade.
Yeah, so Julian actually leaves and come back to the chat at least once.
Yeah.
So we just hit the 3-hour mark. If y'all are good with that, I'm good to wrap it up. Let's get Franco. Do you have anything you want to add? I feel like I can see you thinking.
We put a lot of information into this podcast, and I think this will be a good point to end it on. I think we covered a lot of stuff, bounced all around, and somehow still stayed on the COVID-19 topic. I think it really showed that it's affecting more than just people not being able to go to work or go outside.
Right. Absolutely.
We different 100%. That affects mental health, finances, all that stuff. So I mean, I'm good with that. Sending right there. I think great information. I appreciate anybody that actually tuned in for it. I appreciate you guys' opinions. And excuse me for my emotionalness, but I'm one of those people. I'm a firm believer, and I let my emotions show. So I had a moment there.
That's cool.
But that just kind of shows how important friendships
I try to
and
suppress
bonds are.
mine.
And if you really look at this group of people, it's a lot of friendship and a lot of years between all of us, even the newer people. I think we're all really close, and we all bring very individual views to whatever we talk about. So hopefully, we caught y'all attention and y'all really enjoyed it, and y'all come back again.
I need you to do me a favor as you're saying your out goodbyes. Also, shout out any social medias you have, because I have viewers in chat who are asking how to get in contact with a lot of you. I have Justin's Twitch, but he's really the only one on Twitch. So if you have YouTube channels, anywhere anybody can reach out and talk to you, because a lot of you are really big hits with the people coming through my chat tonight. And I'll make sure that I post information again myself, so that way we can get it all in there.
For me, I'm basic social media. So Facebook is Franco Cochise Roberts, and you can look me up on Instagram at Nitty Mac. I'm working on everything else. I got a YouTube channel I ain't used in forever, but I'm working on all that stuff. I'm really enjoying reaching out to people. Reach out to me, inbox me, whatever. I'll talk about anything.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Anthony.
All right. Yeah, you guys are just like Franco. I'm an open book. I like to talk. You guys can reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook at Anthony L. Lewis. And you can check out my videos at And Now Your Mama Knows YouTube. So just as a sound. That's pretty much it. I mean, you can also find me and not my fake account on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I think it's And Now Your Mama Knows
it
on
is.
Instagram, something like that. But yeah.
I'm on Facebook. What is it? What the hell is my Facebook?
Yo, your name?
Yeah, I think it's John B. Washington.
Yeah, it's John B. Washington, and I'm only on Instagram. It's John Washington 212. I don't, I'm an open book. All my stuff is public. I share. I'll talk because I think that's the only way that we as a people can heal. Because, like, everyone's echoed the same sentiment. You go through stuff, and we as a people have been trained, and we keep ourselves and keep everything internal because we're taught from birth we got to be strong, we got to do this, and we got to do that, and it takes its toll. And I'll be honest, until somebody that I was with, I'm no longer with, but somebody I was with, they suggested therapy. And I'm like, man, get the hell out of here. I ain't doing no damn therapy. I don't need that. That's not for people like me. Man, look, it was the absolute best thing. Now, I won't sit there and say they didn't tell me anything I didn't already know.
Right.
But just having someone to co-sign it and something to say, hey, how about looking at things a different way? And somebody to objectify, not objectify, but someone outside of your group of friends to say, nah, you wrong, bro. It's like, well, because that whole what is it saying? Familiarity breeds contempt. You're gonna think your friends got but you got this person sitting there telling you, no, this is what it is, and for some reason, it'll just boom, it just clicks. It's like, man, wow, that I didn't even bother to think about it like that way, But I think it's good that we all share, and like I said, it, I'm an open book. You want to talk, whatever. The Jade Empire, we here, we gonna do it. We try to encourage everybody. And I want to say on the side note, and I'm throwing you on the spot, Mike. If you want to see, the only way that things will change and people will see is if you have the ability to see that this can affect you. And I'm putting your business out there, and I apologize, but I think people need to know when this man brought his daughter to the ER. This dude is 6'2". Were you 6'2", 6'3"?
6'3".
6'3".
And 13 pounds.
Yeah. Soaking wet.
With one leg.
he had his proper gear on. He had his face mask, but the sheer look of terror on this man's face over his daughter, my heart hurt. And I love Mike. I love all you guys like you're my brother. Ain't nothing you can ask me for. We go to head about certain things, and I ain't talking to you. But you know what? We brothers. And to see that, that was it makes it real. And I think that would be the only way, unfortunately, is either if people are able to put themselves in those situations, or they have to be put into those situations where they see that their loved ones could possibly be affected by this. Thankfully, it wasn't. But the sheer look of terror on this man's face hurt my heart. And you can tell I tried to make light of it. I tried to keep him smiling and everything, but I could see that this was getting to him. But the in and out, he was done. Korea's good. She good, right?
Yep.
Good.
Man, that was the first time I was happy to hear somebody had strep throat.
Right. Tell me strep, don't tell me mono, tell me anything.
Please. He can tell you. I was messaging him. Where you at? Right there. Boom. Came right outside there and talked to him. Try to fast track and try to talk to him, explain this, explain that. That's just what I do. And just to see that look on that man's face was like, oh my God. It bolstered me to, I got to do what I got to do. This is what we're doing and why we're doing it, to keep people safe and to help people out. But unfortunately, that'll be the only time that people really want to change, because if their family members or themselves aren't affected, it doesn't mean anything to them.
It don't mean nothing.
It doesn't mean anything to them, and unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. But I appreciate all y'all. This has been fun. Met some nice people. See them titties. I see you sitting there smiling.
Hey, don't worry. We'll be back again. Go ahead, Eugene.
Go ahead, Franco. You poking them?
We're gonna
that one.
I was trying to, but it wasn't working. My spanky, both of them. Damn it.
All right, here's my closing statement. And, I'm pretty sure everyone here is going to agree with me. As a black man growing up back in the 90s, we was taught.
Kim's not a black man.
Also, I was born in the 90s.
As I say, guys, not Kim.
No, you
Kim wants to be a guy.
Y'all have all on one occasion back in the day said I was either one of the dudes or black on the inside. So by proxy.
May I finish, please?
Go ahead, Gene.
Go on, Gene.
What I was saying, right? Back in the day, right? Us men, we was taught that showing emotion or feeling emotion was a sign of weakness, which I think carries over into mental illness that we probably have today that goes undiagnosed. Can y'all agree with that?
No facts.
Yes. Very much so.
All right. So with that said,
I wasn't taught that though, but I was also raised by women. So.
Yeah.
Well, same here.
Well, my uncle, they ingrained that into us growing up.
I feel like it was much more ingrained into the males than anything.
Yeah, actually it was.
The males by males, yeah.
Yeah.
So with that said, right, if any of y'all feel like y'all need to have a conversation, y'all know my number. Just call and ramble. I don't care. I ain't gonna send you the voicemail. Anthony.
Hey, wait. If he's gonna call Anthony, he won't send you a voicemail, but he'll send you 5,000 text messages so they shut your phone off.
Oh, hey, you was wrong yourself for that too, man.
No, that was you. I stopped. That was you.
No, and I specifically said, hey, man, we gotta
stop me calling T-Mobile crying, talking about, I need my phone. You gotta pay $555, but I didn't want all those messages.
I said, bro, she said, stop playing around. It's her phone gonna get shut off. He said, I don't care. Click.
So this is the kill y'all talking about.
No, yes, me. It was my phone. They got it. My phone shut off and had me pay almost a $600
before Texas was free and unlimited.
It was what? It was like 50 cents a text going in and out.
50 cents a text message. $565 and like 72 cents later.
No, hold up.
I had to pay off
that.
that
I gotta go down with him. You said stop, and I said, all right, I'm stopped.
Because about $150 of that was you.
But you told me to stop.
But you still stopped. But still, after $150, I was a freaking server at Macedonia.
I can't post the cash app.
You can come right to my Twitch channel. There's a donate button right at the bottom. Just click. Beep.
I'll send you $20 right now. That'll cover it.
This nigga.
He said that after.
Yo, you want me to get my routed to your Twitch donate?
Yeah, just one check. I'll be good with one check, and then you can have the rest.
Anyway, yo, if y'all want to find me on social media, right, you can find me at BlackDragon79. That's both for YouTube and Twitch. If you want to see me on Instagram, it's eBigum79.
All right, Mike, where can the people find you at?
My YouTube is up. I don't use it. Don't ask me what it is. I don't remember. I'll go look at it sometime later. I have a Twitch. I don't get on there except for Justin, and I don't even do that all the time because I hate Twitch.
Why do you hate Twitch?
You can find Mike at Marvel Wonders. You can find Mike at Marvel Wonders on Instagram.
Save your password. It's okay.
It's the same password I use for everything. But anyway,
Mike,
that's not a good thing.
Mike, you can find Mike at Marvel Wonders on Instagram, and also at Michael Tramell on Facebook.
There you go.
And his OnlyFans page.
And his OnlyFans.
His OnlyFans page is One Leg Big Booty.
Yep, you can see him taking dumps twice a day on his page.
Look, if that's what they into, I ain't gonna judge.
There's somebody into that. Y'all don't even want to know the crap I've been sitting asked to do, so don't even. There's a market out there.
All right, so
if
Julian, true. You got anything you're trying to plug?
That I hate y'all.
I'm not on social media.
Do know that I'm referring to John B. Washington and Franco.
What we did?
Roberts.
So
I hate them.
All right, hold on, Mike. Julian, true. You all trying to plug anything?
I don't got nothing to plug. Even though I'm probably the youngest person in this call, I'm probably on social media the least, honestly. I use that shit to keep up with my family and make sure they still alive. That's about it.
Same. The only other place you can find me would be twitch.tv/TrueCSW. That's about it.
Deagle.
Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Justin Love. You can find me at DJ Justin Love pretty much everywhere. That's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I have a Snapchat I don't use, but hey, whatever. I have a website, justinloveentertainment.com. I really want to thank everybody here because everybody in this chat has influenced my life in one way or another, whether it was through video games or through years of friendship or just whatever, whatever underlying bullshit that I don't talk about, because I'll be 100% right now. I don't talk about anything going on with me mentally. And I feel like maybe I should.
I think you should too.
Well,
hell yeah,
bro.
All you gotta do is tell me to hop in chat. I'll listen.
How about this, yo? When we go off air, let's have a talk.
Look, my ass hurts. When we go off air, I'm sitting in my bed.
See, Justin, that's the perfect time for you to start your OnlyFans. Just rub your ass in
But, and on that note, folks, Young Empire.
You can also find me on Twitch at DJ Justin Love. So this has been, ladies and gentlemen, the
I'm not allowed to shout myself out? What the hell?
I thought you did that first.
No, I didn't say nothing.
Oh, girl, you've been shouting yourself out the whole street. Let me stop.
I
bad. Right? Nerdish, you have the floor.
Damn.
Nerdish, you have the floor. My bad.
Y'all forgot I was the first lady before Nerdish Girl. See, you got them. You can find me as at Nerdish Girl on Twitch. I am at Nerdish Grill, Grill, on Instagram because some heifer stole my name and post nature pics, and I'm still mad at that bitch. And everywhere else, I'm basically Nerdish Girl.
One of the nice pictures.
I don't give a fuck. They're not Nerdish or grills, so get them the fuck off my name. I'm trying to post Twitch titties on there, and you can't even let me shine.
Damn.
You had me at titties.
I know, right?
It's like the last thing she said.
Didn't stay this long. Thank you.
But I love each and everybody in here, and y'all really have changed my life. And the ones that I just met recently who were added after my departure from Jersey, I still love you guys too.
That's cool.
Y'all fam.
I'm coming back. It's
back here.
I hope
no, are you vibing up?
You homeless nigga?
Listen, damn.
Nah, we was in the chat early yesterday. Ooh man, he looked homeless.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Mighty J.A.D.E Empire podcast. I want to thank everyone who came in and watched. I even got a couple follows while we were here. So thank you for being here. We know this was a little bit more serious, but please come back again. We talk wrestling, video games, current events, whatever. Once again,
just need a goof off.
It's been the Mighty
Mythology
J.A.D.E
next
Empire
week.
podcast.
Mythology.
Thanks for being here. We're out.
Thank you for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And now, your mama knows.